Catman 11,234 said the GRINN.
The cat! Oh, the cat. Man, I have been sitting here for like
Raid
15
Nate said,
minutes.
how you doing, Mr. Grin?
Ooh, I'm doing pretty good. Now that y'all here, guys, I have, let me click a loop of this. Lower just a little bit. Come up here.
McFlufferkin said Seed's a lot of fun, but if you don't have a double attack team to use her for, it's more than fine to skip.
Yes, I feel like I will skip even though her gameplay does look good, but I've been here for a solid 15 minutes, guys. Okay, so I just want, so we're gonna play ZZ today. We're gonna play some ZZ today, but I have been, I just seen some Amon gameplay, and man, I seen the Calamity skill tree. I don't know if Didex, whatever this guy, the person I watched his video of, I just skimmed through like some of the gameplay from everyone, but I mainly wanted to see Amon, and he was doing the Calamity skill tree. Boy, I don't know if he was just playing it really weird, which might be the case, but like he has a very long wind-up to where like you'd think like, oh, I'm gonna charge in, punch someone in the face, and then like it's either gonna hurt a lot because I'm gonna be in an animation state for like 2 seconds until I like come out of it. But it didn't seem to do a lot of crazy good damage. Now maybe he kind of made his build all fucky. Who knows? But it looked a little like. So melee build, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be going with that. Anyways, I'll probably go with my original plan of the basically weapon summoner with him, because I do believe weapons can like go through walls and shit. So I feel a little bit better about that than Siren Girl, who's probably still going to be great. But yes. Anyways, I've been here looking through Amon's skill tree, and well, it's weird, man, because like. This one seems like it's super into ordnate damage, but then there's things I never really caught. I think it's this one or one of these ones. What is it? Is it this? Enemies damaged. Basically, is it this one? Yes. So I was like, oh shit, do we get another Forge Axe? That's epic. But it's whenever Amon activates his ordnance, which... If it's like a chain gun, kind of less cool. If it's like a grenade, then that's huge because you can spam grenades. And then there's also this thing, which is like a 6% chance to immediately refund a grenade. Pretty good. That's pretty good. So those synergize pretty well. And then you still have your other Forge Axes right here, which I believe are activated based on whenever you activate a Forge skill, which I think that's his, like, he has like the double... Oh, I think he also has the hammer. I think the axes also count as a forge skill. Forge skill. Molten Slam. That's this one? I thought... it tells you different ones. Molten Slam is for one of them. I think. I don't know. Firewall is for the shield one. Double Edge. I think that's the one that's for his Necro or Weapon Mancer skill tree thing. I think this is that one. So I have one of those, and you have multiple axes. But does that also count as a skill thing? Anyways, I'm not sure people are still excited about Borderlands. I'm very excited, so I'm here. But I'm trying to map out my build before we get into the meat and the potatoes. We have a whole ass week, dude. And it's bothering me that I keep seeing so many videos about, like, here's everything. Here's everything in the game. A week out. So we have to wait, like, 7 days before we get to actually have it. A little less than 7 days, but still. But yeah, this is the one I was reading about. And then we had to start the stream. So that's why I'm here. But yes, I'm trying to figure out... I think I want to go down both of these skill trees. I think I want to go down this one first because, dude, there's just so much value up here, like, early on. There's, like, a reload speed, which is just kind of nice. There's, like, a kill skill that gives you more elemental, like, effects and, like, stacks on people, which can kind of be cool. But then there's shit down here, which is really cool. Like, both of these abilities sound awesome. Where, like, now you have Forge drones running around, and now whenever you detonate your Forge things, they pop out another Forge Axe, and then we have this cool synergy where Amon, like, whenever Amon reloads, he just gets free fucking electro damage on whatever weapon he's scaling with, which is kind of cool. That one might be where, like, it starts to cannibalize itself, because this is the only issue, as I don't... Like, I just mentioned a bunch of things. I didn't really mention, like, gun damage. I mentioned, like... it's like it slightly improves elemental damage for a duration kind of thing by like 2 seconds, 3 stacks 3 times. So like other characters have like improves gun damage or does amplified anoint damage or something. Not anoint, I keep saying anoint, ordnate damage. So he doesn't have any of that early on, which is usually pretty good. It's usually a decent skill to have. But I don't know, man. I haven't read this one, but I think this one I remember reading had a bunch of cool shit in it. But this one's just like quality of life. Anyways, I have been looking up that for the last couple seconds. I'm excited. I'm going to be building that out as we go. But like I said, we are in fact going to be playing this game today. We are going to be playing the Fabled Seed.
Gnawing Fetus said, what was our question from last night? If you want to ask now, just reminding y'all.
Could you remind me in like 20 to 30 seconds? Because I just feel like I'm going to keep reiterating it, and I don't want to be annoying about it. But it probably would be a good thing to say sooner rather than later, just so that there's something out there. So because it is like a thoughty question that I want to have you ask guys. Not like thought as in like internet. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. Anyways, but I was also going to point out this, guys. By the way, little rant before we get into Seed. Do you guys notice my absolutely dazzling pink thing on my headset? Listen, man. So my headset, it's got this like plastic bead thing here, like this little nub that like connects this foamy part to the metal bit, and it's basically like bolts on plastic, and that's just a nightmare situation because like over time it just disintegrates. Like if it gets slightly loose, they're jiggling around, and then it just disintegrates. So this was like popping out essentially, but luckily your boy, I talked to you guys about this like paper plastic stuff. It's like this. It's the same stuff they make out of like teeth, essentially. It's like a really like food grade moldable plastic. But yeah, I basically had to like R&D fix this thing by like pulling out all of like the bolts.
Lone Syndicate said, "What's up, Grin? That bit of pink is badass. What you talking about?"
I appreciate it. It's the only duct tape I had available to me. Anyways, so I basically took out all like it's basically got like these two clamps that like fold together like this, and then these two little stems sit on both sides of the clamp, so it does this. So I basically had to pull it apart, rip out all the gunk and the bolts that were like severed off, while still holding a part of the bolt on the like other end. So like it had a circle here, and like that metal plastic part was just ripped off. Anyways, I had to take it all out. Then I had to get some of this hot like plastic stuff, smush it in there, then put the two little prongs, press it against there, grab the other thing, press it against that with two clamps. Then I just, because I wanted to fucking overbuild this thing, I took another bit of plastic, wrapped it around the whole thing. It's like another layer of this shit, wrapped it around again, this whole thing, and then I duct taped that shit. Just so that hopefully, man, we can get a couple more years out of this damn headset. Because Jesus, I mean, it's put in some miles, but nothing like incredible. Nothing like, wow, that's a good product, you know. Which is bullshit, because I even did the research on it, and it said it was good. Lying mother effers. Anyways.
Gnawing Fetus said, I give it 2 weeks to 2 months.
Don't say that. Don't put it in the air. Also, we're sitting on a whopping, staggering...
Lone Syndicate said, Grin, if you want Seed, just say the word. I can make it happen,
nope.
my boy.
Nope, I'm good, Lone. I might call upon you one day, specifically with Luna. But as far as Seed, I'm sitting pretty good. I got 23K. If I wanted her, I could swing. It's not that. It's less of that and more of me being like, dude, I think it's just smarter because for me, I really like, I don't really like, I have so much investment in this fucking character. It just makes me mad. I have so much investment in this character. I have her weapon and I have her and I have like a bazillion of her artifacts. And she still sucks ass, dude. She's the worst. I hate it. Anyways.
Catman 11,234 said Lone didn't mean that kind of seed.
Oh, God. That's unhinged. You keep those seeds to yourself, okay? Anyways. But I'm good about picking up on, like, innuendo. That shit was, oof. Anyways. But, yes. I did see that I think that the gun tail lady... Mortefi, or whatever her name is, Ortefi, I don't know. Yeah, she, I think, is going to help her a little bit, and I kind of already have a decent team with her, and Cat Lady, and then hopefully Guntail Cat Lady, whatever her name is, Demon Lady, Stag, whatever. And I hope that makes a competent team, especially considering they've, like, hinted at that she's going to have a rework, or, like, a buff of some kind, because, yes, so that's why I'm, like... I feel like that's just a smart play, because at this point in the game, I am starting to get like, we kind of, at least to me, have entered into like a power creep situation. Maybe power creep is not the right way to phrase it. Everything's gotten harder.
Said again, Seed is good, but I would say Orphe will be better for NB. I'm interrupt what I was about to say cat.
Gross. Yeah. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. That was so funny. That's basically the plan. It's just that I think that's a smarter bet to go on. And again, like I said, if I wanted to, I could go for Trigger. I think I have 23,000. It's not a lot, at least not in this game. I find, because there are no guarantees. Like at least in Withering Wave, I can be like, okay, I guarantee get the weapon banner, so it's not as hellish. Honestly, the weapon banners are the only like real like I could die today kind of horrible outcome, you know. But ladies and also she's here, the fabled Trigger. I do regret not playing her story mission. I bet it was really cool. Anyways, I still think I can do it, but maybe I'll put it off forever, honestly. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let us see the Mecha Queen, or Feet Queen, whatever you want to call it, what she does. The attack type teammates. I have not looked at many videos of her, but I also have. It's kind of odd, but let's play it by ear. First of all, Segway Queen. Why is it not an electric unicycle? Also, that seems super sketchy. It's still on a ball. Weird. Anyways, zoom. Can I not zoom in?
It's nice to stop and enjoy the breeze.
Why can't I zoom in? Okay, well, whatever. Anyways, she reminds me of like...
McFlufferkin said, do not be fooled by the feet marketing. They were hiding a bakery back there.
I don't see much bakery because of the skin small skirt, but maybe when we start ooh, she just, look at that swag, that little bit of whoosh. That's like snake. Okay, I get the thing. It's making more sense now. Flap, got it. All right. Anyways, basic attack. Oh, she wants to be able to look at the thing. Well, what the fuck is that? Okay, that's pretty cool. I was worried that she wasn't going to enter like Giga tank form very often, but she does at her third combo. Oh, you can eat a bag of dicks. Okay. Oh man, that's what's that. That's dude. This is actually a really good contrast.
Lone Syndicate said, "All right, back. What I was saying, Orphe and her weapon would be a good pair with Anby. Plus, you can try her out in the story and get a feel for her. I enjoy playing her very much. Plus, M1 is crazy."
Oh, okay. What was M1? If you don't mind me asking. But I was gonna say, like, to me, this is always somewhat disheartening when like a character that's like high investment. Like that's why Maybe was so nice, is because like you didn't really need much to make her just fucking eat everybody alive. I feel like Augustus in Withering Waves is very similar to this, where you don't need a lot to make her like crush shit. But this character, like that's a really fucking cool attack pattern. Like really cool attack pattern. Where also she's way faster than normal. But we just basically have crazy range, then we go the fuck in and just start beating the shit out of him with the Giga. Oh, do we need to have max stuff? I wonder if we can hold charge at the end there. It looks like you almost need to wait for a QTE. So I guess we just need to build enough stacks, and now eventually he'll go into Rock'em Sock'em mode. Yeah. Bah! Okay, so that's what that bar is at the top. Got it.
Lone Syndicate said M1 Orphe make Orphe do more damage and give the team a 20% damage buff.
Oh, shit. Damn. See, but that's the other reason why we're like not going for Seed, even though she looks great and she's popping off. But the character coming down the pipeline like later, dude, this is another thing that pisses me off. So, sorry, this game's great. I don't mean to be like always picking on this game. I enjoy it quite back. Still playing. The thing that makes me a little like, for instance, a lot of times Mihoyo does this thing where they give like the most cool looking attack combo to a character that's like never meant to attack at all. So like there's an upcoming like Chuni, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's like basically like a guy, like a girl who thinks she's like a dark wizard in like a normal ass apocalypse with like, yeah. So that's what she's playing into, but she's literally like summoning forth like ether things to like grab you by the leg and then like punch you in the chest. And then they're like, oh, by the way, she's a support character. And you're like, so I'm never really meant to shoot like melee or like attack? And they're like, yeah, no, at least I don't think she is. And I'm just like, fuck you, dude. At least this, I guess, is a good variable here where like at least Seed is an attacker who is meant to attack and has really cool attack combos. But anyways, what does her special skill do? Okay, so you hold it down and you just start mecha-ing like crazy. Got it. Boom, build up those charges. We have a special thing. Okay. Is that how we expend our specialness? If you want to see Bum, you have to go to the right. Kind of a hard sell. Anyways, does she have anything else that's kind of neat? What if we tap it? Just a little shot. Just a little shot. Okay. What does it say? Press this to
Lone
launch
Syndicate
special attack.
said Lucia also to keep in mind support in ZZ have more on-field time with the exception of Astra, so you'll get to see her attack patterns and skills.
I just maybe Lone, but I feel like in this game.
McFlufferkin said Seed is both an attack agent buffer and a potentially solid DPS carry. Depends how you want to build and use her.
Yeah. See, looks like she'd be both. I thought there was like variables where like I maybe was wrong, but I heard someone say that she benefits wholeheartedly from like more stuff, like whichever character does. But Seed really seems like she could become the best character in the game if you keep having like Orphe, both of their weapons, maybe see one of Orphe as well, or something weird shit like that. But yeah, Alone. I that might be true, but is it like how true is it? Like you might be able to play like a little bit, but like on the teams that I play. Like for instance, my Mayabi team, I switched to one of like lighter. I hold down like the trigger a little bit. He punches a tiny bit. I switch to the other character and I activate like their special E skill just to get the buff to Mayabi, and then she's good to go again. So like, sure, I'm still playing with them, but like I still am forced to use it. The other thing was Orphe, so that's what I was gonna mention. Orphe, her like attack combination is significantly less cool than all this, but maybe she's a support, so maybe that's what it's kind of supposed to be. But anyways, but yeah, Orphe's attack combination is not like her digitizing a fucking giant mech to come and throw hands while she's also shooting like weird Gatling lasers from her hips. You know, instead she's like, I have a tail. I kind of flop around a lot, honestly. I'm kind of not meant to be on the battlefield, but here I am.
Catman 11,234 said, technology that's basically magic is my favorite type of tech.
Hell yeah.
And tech made to mimic necromancy sounds so fucking cool. Now I want to say IT guys and necromancers when I battery swap for someone.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I was gonna say it's gonna be interesting because I don't know. I haven't looked into her so much, but it does look like she is a support, and it sucks because like again to me I was like, oh, that totally makes sense that'd be like a summoner who's summoning like ethereals, arms, bodies, and shit to like rip somebody to the death. Hell yes. And then they're like, it's a support. And I'm like, why not just hyper-focus that being like DPS? It's so weird. And then they're like, hey, this girl who likes lollipops, that's her whole, or like has a hammer that does this.
Lone Syndicate said Orphe is strictly
She's
meant
DPS.
to be a
She's
true
going to have all the
off-field DPS,
on-screen
like
time.
You don't even really have to swap to
What?
Orphe for her to the things.
Orphe is a strict, meant to be true off-field DPS. Like you don't ever really have to swap off Orphe to her to do a thing. Orphe is strictly meant to be a true off-field. I mean, I was about to say because like Orphe's attack combinations don't look that like spectacular. I mean, at least not to me. She has a cool like laser beam one, which is kind of neat. I think it's only when you enter into like a parry or a perfect counter. Anyways, press this. An attack type ally. Okay, so like this, and then is that what you wanted? Got it. So yeah, I think how she works is you need to get like an attack ally to spend their energy, and that will build up special little node charges. Something like that. I'm trying not to fall in love. Also, my God, she's zooming. Why is she not on an electric unicycle? The segways are actually a horrible mode of transportation. You might think they're very similar. They're not. They're absolutely not. What is this? Hold the fist button to do things. I did that. What? With enough? Oh, with enough. Okay, we gotta get one of these. Can we get energy by doing this? We can. So now we hold down. Pow!
Lone Syndicate said, I won't go into the details of Seed, since you're not getting her.
Yes. Also, I don't want you to waste your breath on this, all right? I know she's... If she's a character that, like, if anyone's getting her, pop off, King. Like if I had boundless wealth, or just didn't see the upcoming characters, I probably would go for this, you know? But at this point in this game, I kind of do get more excited by, like, synergy and power gain. Mostly synergy, though. Things that, like, really work together and feel like they're a good deal, you know? We could do this. What if we... How good is the damage with this? It's okay. These are ads, so they should die, like, really quickly, so it's okay. Bang. Can we do this and then switch to this? Where's the next one? We'll do one of these. Do one of these. Switch it up. Switch it up. Parry. Go back to the. There we go. Fuck it. This is pretty cool. Not the feet thing, please. Anyways, this. That's pretty cool. That's annoyingly cool, actually. Well, goodbye forever. We will not play it again because of, yes, the fear of that being too fun. Will be fine, probably. Hey, what about this cool sniper lady, guys? She's cool
Lone
too.
Syndicate said, also, I finally finished building my Soldier 11, and I'm running the full Obel Squad team, and Grin meet the feet thing when he said this is cool.
I did not mean that. You're a fucking plant. You're an industry plant. There's... I don't think that's... I think we gotta use this to enter her, like, special... Oh, yeah, we did. Okay, so gotcha. This, hold down charge. We do the things. We can also activate her special Giga mode. Switch off. I wish you could switch off faster. No, I know that. Yep, this. And now she's just going to start to fucking go to town. I will say Trigger does have, like, everything I want in a support character.
Catman 11,234 said, beautiful. Pretty woman, big gun. I am intrigued.
I'm about to say, this is your MO. Cat, do you follow, like, Instagram yoga pants shooting situation? You know what I mean. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. That took YouTube by storm, rightfully so, I feel. But anyways, this. Go.
Lone Syndicate
Trigger,
said,
pop
now
off.
I would say Grin Trigger is a part of the premium Anby team.
Yes.
It's going to be Anby Trigger and or Fee.
Yes. I know that Trigger is going to be a part of it. I just feel like Trigger is, like, I have, what's her name? The little, like, the ball person. She's like she's like a version of Trigger, but instead of it being follow-up attack or something, or after whatever the hell, it's not quite the same thing. But yes, what? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. I got the cat girl, the tiger girl. I mean tiger girl, or panther girl, whatever she ended up being. I don't know. But yes, I got her. So I think I should be. I have an option, not a strong option, but an option. You know. I thought I also had another option for her. And theoretically, I still would like to use Polker because I leveled her up so much. And I think Samby can still use
Catman
her.
11,234 said, I think you all are the most social media I get besides a Snapchat of my feet to a good friend with a caption saying, you can't handle this.
Okay, I was about to say.
McFlufferkin said Trigger is a really strong stun agent that complements most teams,
Aftershock,
whether you're going full Aftershock or not.
Yeah. No, again, I think Trigger's great.
Lone Syndicate said, wrong, sir, you had it right the first time Catgirl, aka Titri Kitty Tiger, is Fufu.
Oh, yeah, Fufu. Was that right? Catgirl? I thought it was supposed to be... Is she not a tiger? I thought she was a cat. I don't know. Yeah, but it's that tiger girl. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, okay, if I'm trying to plan everything out and make it make sense in my head at least, I go with, if I went with this. So I have her, and I have both of them leveled up already. So I need to make room, so I will go with the third flex being the one girl, the fire tail lady. But... what do you call it? If I do want to, like, maybe, like, Polkarun wants to go to another team, I could put her in there, which I do think she helps. I don't think she's as useful as Trigger.
Nate said Ju Fufu is a tiger, yes.
Yes, tiger. Sorry, tiger. That's what I meant, tiger. Whatever it is, it. From now on, I will refer to her as it, because I keep messing it up, and at this point, I go to hell. Jafufu. But... anyways, but I also have well, that's the thing that's also disappointing me a little bit. I have this team, bang, and then I have this team, boom. I don't think I have her weapon, though, which is holding me back. But I have, like, I think they're, like, the premier-ish team for them, which is this. But I also think that the other lady, that's another reason why I wanted to go for, like, the Dark Magic lady, is because I think the Dark Magic, like, Chuni, whatever the hell you want to call it, person, I think she will be better than Panda for buffing up,
Catman
void magic shit.
11,234 said calling her it is better than jailbait, which is what I see in the memes LMAO.
Probably. Is she a... Well, it's crazy because, like, I don't know, but, like, Wise and them are, like, canonically 18. They kind of look, at best, like 17. something, you know. So yes, and then there's this, which is just like crazy. Honestly, if you want to see some fucked up shit, Kat, guess how old this lady is. Guess how old. If you guessed that's a fucking grandma, then you're correct. Logic means nothing in a game made by degenerates. Yes. Anyways. But what should we do? Well, first of all,
Lone Syndicate said that's grandma.
That is grandma, yes. I'll buy these, I guess. I should really buy all of this stuff, but I always just am like, whatever. You know, like this 15,000 could go away tomorrow.
Gnawing Fetus said, I was gonna say 72 greater than.
Yes. I mean, honestly, kind of surprising. Maybe I led the question too much. Could be. Okay. I'll save it a little bit for more. Skip this. Do I want the Bang Boo things? I think I want these. Oh, maybe not. I'll save that. What is this reset?
McFlufferkin said Piper is supposedly in her 40s.
Yes.
They just treat 4 decades as retirement age.
Oh. 40, so she's not 87? I feel like, you know, you don't really see a lot of old people walk around New Era, so you got to think there's something going on. Maybe it's that we're living in an apocalypse where people die all the time.
Catman11234 said she can cradle rob me as long as she explains to the police anytime I'm stopped in the street and questioned.
I feel like she's way too close to this, you know what I mean? Yeah, way too close to the Anyways. Calling this. Tiger Lady, yeah. Alright. So, I do think we got some events to crank on through with this. I don't know how many.
Lone Syndicate said also Wise and Belle are in their 20s. Consider they said they are close to Caesar's age.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Also, I was thinking maybe we do this because she looks 1,000 times better than what's his name, man. Anyways, but whenever we're out in the real world, we still play her. I guess they let us play whatever we want. What? Do we change it up? I don't know. I still think the Speed Queen is, in fact, this character. She's fast as fuck, boy. Unless, what's her name? She might also be fast. I don't think it's faster. I think it's the same.
Catman 11,234 said it's like how in One Piece the crew is a mix of 15 to 19 and then there's one 28-year-old woman.
Which is odd. That seems a little
Lord
like...
Blazefire 1985 said, damn, I had some cranberry juice and it was sour.
Yuck.
Anyways, yo, Grin.
What's
I'm
good?
doing good and going back to playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, you grinding through Ghost, man? What made you want to play it?
Lone Syndicate said Grin regretting choosing Wise instead of Bell as his MC.
No, I'm not actually. I still... No,
Raid
why?
Maid said, I feel like Trigger would be a good pickup for you, Grin.
Don't say that. Don't say that. No. Now the plan is Orphe, because she'll make my Ambi better. I do think Orphe will be better for Sambi than Trigger. Maybe better is the wrong way to phrase it. I think Orphe will be better for everybody and also Sambi, which I'm still like holding out hope, or I'm still like ready to bail because they fucked up the like even Haramasa and all these things, even Ellen, like after the rework, I don't see Ellen like peaking at like, oh my god, she's OP. So I think they buff them, but they buff them to like A+, probably A tier. They don't put them in like S tier. Holy fucking shit, this character's eating shit, everybody alive. So I don't have the most hope for Sambi, you know. So that's why I'm like, well, if we go Orphe, we can make Sambi's team better. But also, if we need to fucking bail, we can just by throwing her in any attacker team. So that's kind of the method to the madness. Anyways, what do we got?
McFlufferkin said Trigger is still very much crucial for SNB, but Orphe will probably be better than Seed for SNB. All three are good for most teams.
Yes. The reason why I make the value judgment to say that Orphe is also better is because I have max tier Pulchra. Now, Pulchra's not like a Trigger at all, but she's pretty close. So, like, I'm closer to having a person that can fill the slot of Trigger than I am to having one of Orphe. Does that make sense?
Said, well, it's called getting ready for Yote. As for the cranberry juice I bought isn't expired. Had a strong sour taste. I make it with lemonade.
Ooh.
Raidnade said, how many polychromes do have Grin?
I have a whopping 22, I believe, if memory serves. I have 22 polychromes, and I still have a lot of these little events to do, but I've been putting it off, honestly. But, yes. What should we do? Should we do this stupid little mini game? Honestly, some of the mini games were very fun. I had to rush to do most of them. There was like a cool... Dude, both Withering Waves and Zenless had like these really cool mini games this time around. There was one in Withering Waves where like you're trying to like... Oh, it was really cool. It was with the Furlova event where like you it's like a
Lone
node
Syndicate
game.
said, "Damn, only 22. Grin, you broke."
I am broke, dude. Especially in this game. Like people, like I'm not even kidding. Like this game, at least with the weapon banner being as fucky as it has been, and this game being so, I'm bad luck in this game. So like that's not a lot. I need at least like 34 to feel cozy. Like 34,000 is at least I'm like okay, I can make a good try. But 22 is still well within the barometer to eat shit.
McFlufferkin said if you intend to get Yudari and or Monado, do the Bangbu event so you can get Excalibur. It synergizes with Rupture agents.
Oh, I did get Excalibur maybe. Oh, this one? Oh, maybe not. Maybe I didn't. Will this show Excalibur or something? Let's see. I did that. We did that. I collected that, yes. We have our weeklies. Okay, so we have a choice between doing some main story where we're introduced to Trigger and Orphe, or a fun little event, which I don't even know what it implies. We'll just look at this one real quick. We might just bail on this. It's a Bangbu event. Could go either way. Could be like, here's a shitty minigame that you're forced to play. I'm like, oh god, no. It also could be, here's some cool combat. Fuck it and kill everything. I'm like, hell yes. Yes. Ba 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 ba. There she is. I've never actually seen you in the story because I'm so effing behind.
Lone Syndicate said, "Anime update, finished 2 anime this week and started another one."
Oh, I have been reading manhwa. I have still not went to town. I did see, Lone, that there is an absolutely badass anime that's being done. It's very similar to Overlord. I forget what it's called, but it's basically like, yeah, people attribute it to being like close to the like level of like badass or crazy as Overlord, in the sense that it's like it handles like scale really well and like kingdom building.
Raidnade said, "Damn, I'm sitting at around 20k. I'ma probably need more for Orphe."
Yeah. Well, if you're also going for a weapon, but I heard people say that Orphe's weapon wasn't actually that necessary. Well, it's weird because actually I'm wondering what would be better. Is like Orphe's weapon better, or is it probably her C1? I imagine C1 because Orphe's a stat stick anyway, but maybe her C1 like reduces damage or like shreds them to a specific kind of element or something. Who knows? But yeah, Lone, what do you call it? There's an amazing anime. I wish I remember off the top of my head. But basically, the premise is all of like the world's races create like an Avengers style
Lone
team.
Syndicate said I got like 200 polychrome to my name.
Well, you also just got Trigger, so yes, it makes sense why you're deprived. But yeah, all the races. Actually, we can use our pause text to speech by boom. Remind me to turn back on text to speech. What do you call it? The premise of this cool anime is basically you're in a fantasy world. All of the
McFlufferkin said I had 250 or so before seed, down to 130.
Down to 130. You had 125?
Catman 11,234 said, "Shout out you Grin, you got me into Overlord as you ranted about it around 2016-17.
Really? Holy shit. That's crazy. What do you call it? Yeah, I'm trying to remember how to like condense this. The premise is it's a fantasy world. There's like a bunch of races around the world, like elves, dogmen, all that stuff. That basically make like an Avengers style like S rank team to go and like do these big dungeons and shit. Anyways, there's a human, and the human had like a really powerful skill, basically called like gotcha luck or gotcha system. He ends up basically like all it ends up amounting to, it's like an S tier talent, but all it ends up amounting to is him like being able to like summon like water bottles, super shitty compared to everyone else in this team who's like a world-ending calamity. Anyways, what they ended up doing is they ended up going to this like dungeon, and everyone seems so nice to him. Like he's like a tiny kid, and he's got this like little ability, and he's like, it's gotcha, whatever. Anyways, they end up like basically leaving him for dead, like they're about to kill him off, essentially, and it's like heartbreaking because he's like, it's kind of like that Overlord moment where like it's got that like, wow, it's so bright, lovely, and sweet, and then it spins a little bit, and it's like, oh, this is kind of fucking dark. Oh my god, these people are awful. Jesus. Very similar to that. Anyways, they end up leaving him, like going to kill him, and they're right on like the world's tallest dungeon. They're like in a cave right beside the dungeon entrance. Anyways, he ends up stepping on like a plate as he's running away for his life, and he gets like shot in the stomach. So he's running away, and they're trying. He ends up hitting like a warp gate essentially that puts him right down to the first floor, and then he's about to die because the boss is about to kill him. But then he uses his gotcha thing one last time, and how the gotcha system of his skill works is it basically pulls an energy around him. To like improve the probability that he gets a better pull. So because he got teleported to the bottom floor, he ends up basically being able to pull like an insanely high tier thing. So he ends up summoning like an S tier maid. And this S tier maid like fucking socks the like this level S tier dungeon boss in the fucking mouth. So then the kid basically just stays at the bottom floor and basically just keeps like building up his empire. So then they do just like a massive time jump, and the kid's very like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, like super innocent, and then he gets like betrayed like crazy. And then he starts just like doing pulls at the bottom of this dungeon, and then they do like a time jump like 55 years in the future, and he's got like an Einzul Gone fucking overlord castle, thousands of maids, gigantic fucking beings and lizard people walking as he's just like the king essentially at the bottom of the floor. And then he's like, okay, I finally got strong enough. He goes up to go hunt down all the like deadliest warriors of every race in the kingdom, and then that's basically the story. And it's him like being pretty fucking merciless about killing them, because they don't talk about how like his brain got warped a little bit by the fact that he did like, yeah, they're like this. Oh, this is a big horrible dragon. Killed him immediately. Also, he's summoning shit that like has different morality phrases to it, just like Overlord. So like he'll summon a maid that has like fucking zero empathy. He'll summon like a demon that's like, I actually love ripping out people's skin. so his whole like barometer for shit is fucked, but it's not in the same way that Overlord's is fucked, in the sense that he has like a death knight or a skeleton a skeleton pretext, like constantly like suppressing his emotional reaction. It's just that he's like betrayed. He's a little edgy. It looks like a fun anime coming up. But I think you guys would enjoy it if you gave it a watch. But it's coming out. I don't know if it's released yet, but it does have like a pretty good budget behind it and stuff like that. So people are hyped. I'm also hyped. I hope you guys enjoy it whenever it comes out though. But yes, I am an anime I am hyped for is Hit Me Lone.
Lone Syndicate said, backstabbed in a backwater dungeon, my trusted companions tried to kill me, but thanks to the gift of an unlimited gacha, I got 9,999 Lavian Lache's friends, and I'm out for revenge on my former party members.
Yes. Some could say that was it. That is exactly what it is. That's the one I was referring to, Lone. That's honestly, as much as people complain about these goddamn names, that was basically what I just said, but in like 20 seconds. Or like 5 seconds. Pretty amazing, but that is the title. But that is kind of what it happens. But that's also the backstory of like why his friends betrayed him. Also, there's no real good reason. It's just because they were pissed off that like he wasn't pulling his weight within the party, and everyone like thought he was going to be a badass. And it's funny because there's like a prophecy within their clique that talks about like the new boss. They keep saying that the new boss. Like who's going to be the new boss, and they keep referring to this thing within this like S tier like continental group. And they mentioned like a prophecy of things happening, and of course it's the kid, but all of them like thought that was him, and then they think because he's so weak he's not the prophecy person, so then they treat him like shit, and then of course he's like, oh bitch, I am the fucking prophecy. I am. Anyways, all right. Who are you?
Anna? Is that how you say hello?
What did she say? I tuned it out.
Nope. And there are at least 5 grammar mistakes in that sentence.
She has that was a hard voice, but maybe it changes.
But let's not get into that right now. Never thought Coach Aster would bring you in as an assistant proxy.
I've heard this voice actor so much in like, she always plays like
Lone
the weird
Syndicate
Lolita
said that
nonsense
is probably
thing.
the longest anime title I've seen in a while. I had to cut the title short cause it wouldn't all fit in there. That's what she said.
Wow, well.
Given that I failed being the combat training instructor, guess it's time for me to bow out. The feeling of failure sucks. Like chugging a ton of nitro fuel and then riding a roller coaster 16 times straight.
Choice is an illusion.
So, you were the one training the Bangbu for combat?
I don't like her voice. I don't know yet. I feel like it could get better. But I also find it not bad, just not what I prefer. Would be a good way to
Given how strong you are, you wouldn't think you'd have any problem. How exactly were you training them?
I simply taught them how to handle ethereals. Nothing special. For an average ethereal, you close the distance and then you punch it.
Does everyone have a giant mech guardian like you? Feel like you skipped a lot of steps.
And then?
Then the ethereal becomes many small pieces?
This is the trope that always exists within like things where it's like the strongest person is in fact the worst person to train you because to them they're built like they have talent essentially. You want to get trained by the guy that sucks, okay?
And if you punch the right spot, some of them even explode. I should probably write that down. It's a fun experience. I'll teach them
Lone
that
Syndicate
next
said I shall
time.
smite you.
Give it a
Seed is
chance.
great. She's a weirdo.
She, to me, seems like right now I'm getting a little bit of Airhead, just a little bit, along with, like, Disturbed a little bit. Like, maybe, like, an Airhead seems about right. Because the fact that she's like, yeah, I punch these animals, these, like, monsters, and they just fall apart. They just explode, blood, viscera, all of it. Like, the fact that that's a thing, that she's just like, yeah, it's a little fucked, you know? I don't see Ellen being like,
said, guessing
wow.
You didn't watch her promos.
I didn't watch any of it. Again, this is a bias by me, guys. When I know I'm not going on a character, I distance myself immensely because I don't want to be fucking depressed that I'm not going for them.
Gnawing Fetus said,
Wait,
I'm picking up
that's
a bit of bratty
There's
in there.
no next step.
Catman
Maybe.
11,234 said curious if they went for Airhead in response to the trope of blue hair girl loves tech and she's super smart and usually makes all her own things.
Yes, but is actually just like exceptionally like she could not survive a minute with just by herself. So that could also be the trope.
But what if it's not just an average ethereal and it's got some kind of ranged attack? What do you do then?
Oh, so this is a weird vibe. Bell with his like kind of
Lone
pseudo nipples out a
Syndicate
little
said
bit.
Seed is indeed Airhead Grin.
Yes, I feel like that makes sense.
Oh, that one's a little trickier. You'll need an extra step.
So is she like a nepo baby in a way too? Because she inherits this like crazy giga mech thing.
McFlufferkin said another content creator noticed she seems to be heavily inspired by a character from Eureka 7.
Ooh, okay. I don't know what that is.
First, you dodge the attack. Then you get close and punch
This
it.
is like the
The
meme
end.
of somebody like drawing, and they're like, "See, you just draw this little line, this other thing, and then you have a beautiful image." And you're like, "What the fuck? What? How'd you get to this point?"
What if it's an elite ethereal? You know, the kind that doesn't go down with
Lots
one
of
punch?
punches.
If one punch doesn't do it, just throw a few more. That usually works.
Saitama would in fact not approve. Saitama spits in her face. How dare you? Although Saitama does have like a fucking like mass aerial punch where it's just like 1,000 fists, so maybe. Sure.
Your teaching is great, but next time, maybe try a method that's a little easier for Bangbu to understand.
Oh, she's training me boo.
I find what you just
McFlufferkin
said
said
a
in
little hard
no,
to
she was found and
understand,
raised
too.
by Seed Senior. Found in a hollow, she doesn't have a heart, and he rejected his combat programming which recognized her as an ethereal.
Whoa, she doesn't have a heart? Damn. No, she was found and raised by Seed. Oh, Seed is the mech. I see. Is that right? Or is that... No, maybe not. She found it in a hall. Okay, gotcha. Oh, man. I'm a little... As much as this character is very cool, I am a bit sad that, like, when we seen the trailers for this new, like, area or, like, thing, region, I was so hyped when I seen a giant fucking, like, mech guy, and the fact that they're like, but what if there was a tiny child with feet out all the time in it? It's just a very big disappointing thing opposed to me walking around with this giant fucking like cop like robot thing like a total unit. Instead it's a lady and a Segway. But anyways.
Anyway, what exactly do you want me to do?
Beep beep boop boop things.
I have a mission. I need to leave now.
Okay.
Oh, I'll leave them to you. Battle Boo can record your teaching. I'll just
McFlufferkin
watch
said
and
that
learn
made
your
it make
method
sense.
later.
But yes, I would have liked to roam as Seed Senior.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense. I definitely think it's also like there's probably people who like if gotcha things are ever like a thing. It makes sense so that like most people probably do not want a
Lone
mech
Syndicate
monster as much
said
as me.
that whole story from the Seed trailer can be summed up to the Tin Man who doesn't think he has a heart had a heart all along.
Oh, she doesn't have a heart, but she kind of like incites the heart in it. Oh, wholesome, sweet.
All right.
I sound like I'm lying, but it's kind of nice.
What you need to do.
Got it. So, how do we go about training these fluffy little friends? Did she hurt you? Huh? Where did the robot touch you? Tell me, other robots. I don't know how old you guys are canonically, so I don't know if, well, I guess it could still be not consensual. Anyways, I'm reading all this, guys. You just have no idea how fast I am at reading. I'm locked in the whole time. Go to battle. What is this? Is this the cool game that we already played, or is this different? Nope, it's different shit. Oh, I like the other previous event one where, like, yeah, it was, like, strategy-based, but more fun. Anyways, all right, well, do we have enough to make it happen with the Electro, Mr. Man? Yep, no, I get you, bud. Put him here, do your work.
Lone Syndicate said Tower Defense's minigame GRINN.
Yeah, we'll probably go to the story. Probably it'll be a good mix of action and reason. Unless we can't, which could be a thing.
Raidnade said roaming as Seed Senior would have been nice, cause you know they could do it too.
Yeah.
Cause they already have Ben and Yinhu as roaming characters.
That's what I was gonna say. To me, like, it's totally reasonable because they do have a Benny. Well, I should put that here. I don't care. It's the tutorial. It should be fine. I've already done this kind of event beforehand. I really like the other event though, man. Like the other one that was like Bang Boos, but like you basically put two action figure Ben Boos on like a tower mat. And then the enemy team met set up theirs, but like it was about you getting like the right stacks and like adding up to a better outcome of their thing in a weird way. Can we just get 6 of these things? Maybe one right up here so we get the zappy zaps happening faster. There we go. All right, off we go to do the actual story beats. Unless we can't. If we can't, actually before we do all that, let me just burn my resin. What am I doing? Resin. Where are you? Sorry. All right, so I am prepping for Orphe, which I think I have enough of this because I have quite a lot. If I go to crafting, I have 300 and something, which I don't know if that's enough, but it should be enough. I do think Orphe is also a
McFlufferkin said auto chess with Bang Boos was quite fun. Pretty sure we can keep playing it as a permanent game mode.
Oh, really? Oh, sweet. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. I was going to say, for Orphe, is Orphe a support or is she a attack?
Lone Syndicate said anime side note, the current anime I'm watching is the Shy Hero and the Assassin Princesses.
The Shy Hero? I don't know what that is. Oh, yeah. No, I watched that one. I read that whole ass manga. That's a good ass manga, Lone. The premise of it is like, she is an attack. Okay, so I thought I looked that up, and I thought it made sense. So I have enough for attack, I think. 35, 36. But yeah, Lone, that one's awesome. The premise is basically like a classic, like annoying fantasy hero, like with the stupid crown and shit, looking like he's the original like Japanese I'm a hero in an RPG kind of like. Except imagine he just took all of the steroids imaginable. He has a giant scar on his face, and he has like the most social anxiety you've ever seen in your life. And he's also like notoriously like invincible. So they like the whole kingdom sends 3 fucking assassins after him. One is a priest, one is the Demon King's daughter, and then the other one is just like a kind of like a prostitute situation. Gang member affiliation, we'll say, and all of them are basically trying to kill him, but they're also like masking as like being a part of his party. So like there's this like deadly assassin is masking as like a healer. So she's wearing like the classic healer thing, but she's smoking cigarettes and shit. Great show. I can't wait to watch. It's on the list. That one I think is just a good time. That falls in the category of like Konosuba, which is just like turn off your brain, have a good time. Can't wait to watch. Anyways, okay, so we got that. What else would she need? We can't farm for her artifacts. Let's do that. Dude, I still wish they just gave us more artifact space. I'd hate deleting shit and all that and feeling like I'm forced to do the thing. This is, however, one of the weird things that where Ambi actually works. Like Ambi doesn't feel weak in this instance. I wonder if they're just weak to Electro or something. I don't know. Parried.
Let me at him.
Do that to get, what's her name, stunning things.
Lone Syndicate said dude's social anxiety is relatable in a way, but the way he wants to act in his imagination is kinda cringe.
It's time.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Yeah. I don't remember that much about it. It's been a while since I've seen the full manga. But yeah, to me, what's sad is that, like, I don't think it ever it gets better. Like, that's the thing that always irks me about those shows. Like, it's great when there's, like, a Konosuba thing, but, like, in Konosuba, the main character, like, grows and, like, gets past shit. Whereas it feels like Saturday night cartoons in the sense that, like, the main character is always, like, super... that's right, I mentioned, like, in this stupid fun show, the main character, like, they're all trying to kill him, and how it ends up becoming like a romance is that all these assassins are trying to kill him, and every single time they're trying to kill him, they put him in a situation where, like, everyone's almost in danger, so then he ends up saving them. So, like, it's a really weird, like, super simp show, to tell you the truth, in the sense that, like, they're trying to kill him, he still keeps saving them, but he's so derpy and dopey that it's kind of, like, wholesome a little bit. Anyways, but the issue is that, like, it never resolves itself. Like, it's always like they just keep, like, falling in love with him more, I guess. But he never stops becoming, like, a total bitch. Where, like, as soon as they touch him, like, even if they just hug his arm, he does this thing where he, like, fucking, like, nods out. Like, his brain just overloads and he just gets, like, knocked unconscious. And it's funny. It's cool for, like, a solid 5 times. But then it becomes a thing where it's just like, oh, we're just gonna keep doing this so, like, the narrative can just keep juking the result, like, any sort of progress. And you're like, all right, well, this is a hell, honestly.
Ready. Yeah. Copy.
Keep popping off. I will say, Pulchra, I wish she did more stun, because she doesn't really have that going for her. How did I miss you, dude? Oh, you're dead anyway. It's fine. Time. Very fast. Very okay. Not bad time. Great time. Not great time, but okay time. Orphe track is a his trigger is also the squad that isn't attack roll. Orphe is attack. Trigger is the only. Yeah, I didn't even ask that. Will that team work out? The Orphe, Sambi, and then Pulchra team work out, or no? Is there some sort of weird, like, non-detonation happening with that? Maybe. I fucked up. I should have. Damn it.
Is our prey gift?
Attack.
A little gift. Now you pay. Off balance.
Please tell me it hit the other guy too. It did. Nice.
It's time. Wide open. Now you pay.
Damn it! We were so close to greatness. Ooh. Oh, also
Lone Syndicate said it should work out fine.
It should work out. Okay, good. Okay, I thought it should, but I wasn't sure. Maybe there's some sort of weird thing. That's again, man. There's so many things to do in this game as far as, like, check off things off the list. Where it's like, do they synergize with their rear roll allegiance? Do they do a similar element? Do they buff you or something? And you're just like.
McFlufferkin said that'll be fine, but Pulchra is much more finicky to use as a stun agent compared to Trigger.
Yeah.
As she burns her teeth if you do her rotation improperly.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take over. In position. Special sneak attack.
Don't attack me.
It's time.
Sure.
Focus. Let's play a little.
Boom. Cat cheeks. Anyways. Also, I will mention this now. So, for those of you guys who observe the stream as a kind of background noise podcast, I need you to lock in for 5 minutes. Okay? The coffee's not very good. The coffee's not very good at all. All right. This is the question I wanted to ask you guys at the last stream before I left. Okay. So, I am going to work on content probably soon, like before next week, before we get into our massive Borderlands situation. So, I have a lot of, like, run up for this. Not a lot, but I have just some run up to talk about this. So, Yadi, I'm going to do something. We go over here and we go to. Where are you? There we go. Sorry, I just want to make sure I have this weird thing turned off. If we do one of these, boop. Good. Okay. Back to this. All right, I toggled off text speech, so wait until I finish, and I'll tell you it's back on, just so I can not lose my train of thought. Okay, so when it comes to doing YouTube and stuff like that, one of the things that I really enjoyed recently is I read this book called The Lean Startup. But the idea behind the book, which I thought was really clever, was isn't it stupid that some people might spend like months and months and months of their life working on something only to then put it out there and only for it to then crash and burn? Wouldn't it have been smarter for you to like test it in some capacity really quickly soon, even if it was kind of scuffed, just for you to be sure about the insight that you're going to be operating from? So as soon as you know that you have some kind of green light, awesome. Dump all your time into that and build it out. And actually that could be better because people could like give you information on like what you are going to provide. Like, oh, I like that feature. And then you're like, okay, great. I'll work on that. I didn't know you liked it so much. So it's basically like an idea of like, what if you didn't waste so much time? So I really enjoyed this idea. So I started to apply it to some of my YouTube videos. So I had the idea is really simple in this context, which is everything can be broken down to you have an assumption on how something works, and then you need to simply make a test in which you can define a parameter in which you can succeed or which you can fail. That's it. And then you need to do the thing that will then be able to get that information to you, right? So for me, in most layman terms, I have this assumption with VR content where I think I had two assumptions that I tested. One of them was my assumption is that I think people enjoy the promise of exceptionalism, basically. So if I said, this is the best melee weapon of any kind in any VR game ever, that kind of thing. If like this is the best 5 spell mods in Blade and Sorcery or something like that. I had this assumption where I think people would are interested or value in some capacity exceptionalism, like something that is like the best of the best. So I've tried this, and I know, like, to me, I think that's a pretty fair, like, universal thing that people value. But over like the year of doing things, if I look back at my previous content, I don't exactly think that's correct. And the parameters for me testing this, by the way, was okay, I'm going to throw away all the things I know about making video, and I'm just going to basically see if I can hyper lean into that idea. So this idea of, okay, if I communicate within the first 30 seconds that this is like the best gore mod, and this is what I end up doing, this is the best gore system I've ever seen in VR, here's why. And then I also leaned into that with the title and the thumbnail, so people can also understand that this is like the best of the best. And I look back at the previous content that I made of like a sword or whatever, or a spell mod, or like the best bone lab mods, etc. I've also tested this, but largely like the thing that's kind of hard to accept is that like I don't like that may be the case for other people for sure, but it doesn't necessarily like work for VR people at all. And it's weird because like I think as I say that, like, hey, exceptionalism, who wouldn't value like top 10 blank? But in my data, man, like the feedback I've consistently gotten is that's not it. Yeah, like across the board. But like there's weird shit that like you wouldn't have thought of, like the promise of hope. My assumption on the thing that VR people value exponentially in my testing has been the promise of hope, meaning anything that says like VR isn't dead, there is hope for VR, this is something cool that's happening in the VR space that you can look forward to. All of those things do exceptionally well. VR people like gobble that up. I think it's because we're in a famine of like there's nothing exciting happening in VR, and people constantly where it's dead and all that stuff. Anyways, my second assumption was basically which was like the assumption of a value stack. So like, would people value in the VR space like a quantitative value proposition, basically? So like top 5 best mods. So not even saying like the best mods ever, just saying like here is 3 or 5 or 10 of the best mods that I was able to find. Here is like the best, like the top 5 best VR games that you could ever play, things like that. I tested that within like the Bone Lab scene, at least, with like here's the top 3 best mods I could find with Bone Lab. And it's not that like I want to describe that it's not that people don't necessarily enjoy them, because theoretically I can make a video on anything, I think, and like find an angle that makes it at least somewhat intakeable, not necessarily enjoyable, but like intakeable. Like you wouldn't be offended, you wouldn't like hit like a downvote on the video. You might be like, it wasn't anything special, but I didn't take anything from it usually. So I could just do that by like understanding the mechanisms of how to make a good video and story, and like adding sound effects behind it and music, and knowing how to like somewhat pace out a story to where like it doesn't feel as grating, things like that. So the thing I wanted to ask you guys was to help me, especially people who are like would consider themselves to be like somewhat in the VR space. I wanted like interested in somewhat VR content. Like you've clicked on a VR video if it pops up sometimes. I wanted to ask you guys, what is your thing? If you could break it down like that as an assumption, like kind of like how I did, which is like my assumption in the VR space is that people would value blank. Yeah. And again, the metric that I would test it on is the same I would just show you. I signal it heavily in the title and thumbnail, and then I would mention that whatever that variable is in the first 30 seconds of the video, and then I would observe whether my average view count or engagement, whatever, would increase or decrease, because that would be the metric that you would see that people not only clicked on the video because they were interested, but then stuck around beyond the past 30 seconds. So that's what I wanted to ask you guys. I know it's kind of a weird question to ask, but like even if you just want to like shoot out something, it's just any assumption that you think might happen with VR, like a thing that you think people might like. So like for instance, the one thing that I've weirdly noticed is, like I mentioned, that I do have like a positive signal towards, which is the my assumption is that people in the VR space really value anything that like gives them a trickle of hope, like hope for the future, hope for anything like that. Another one that I want to test, but I wanted to like ask you guys because I kind of like tested twice and I thought, nah, it doesn't really work. The one that I find that's weird, that I still can't nail, if I'm honest, like I don't know why, but like the 3 videos of like, this is like why a spear is so cool, this is why a saber is kind of neat, this is why a greatsword is really cool, etc. Like those videos, I don't know what about them was like the core reason why somebody ended up clicking necessarily. There's a slight thing of like people just really like weapons, and there's not a lot of like weapon channels that have like cool POV footage. So I'm tapping into like the medieval melee weapon crowd, as well as like martial arts kind of HEMA crowds as well, and things like that maybe. But yeah, the one thing that I do have like a pretty strong signal towards, that like I have an assumption that I think is really correct, it's this. And this is kind of the one I want to test as well. But it's the idea of people in the VR space mainly value spectacle above anything else. So like spectacle or humor. So like if in the first 30 seconds I show you something that's impossible, like you know, I remember I always see this one scene. It's in the first video I ever made on my not the first video, one of the first videos I ever made on my Mind Palace Madness channel, where basically there was like a cool mod for Bone Lab that had like lightsabers in it, and then there was another cool mod that had like weird the Force, like telekinesis in it, and there was this cool thing where like you could hold down the telekinesis button and it would kind of like magnetize everything towards itself, and it would move really slowly, but you still like could control it. And I remember I had this cool moment where I was like picking up like 7 turned on lightsabers and they were like dancing in the air. And I just thought it was like such a visually insane thing to see. And I thought looking back on it, I thought if I put that within the first 30 seconds of the video, I put that in the thumbnail and title, I think that video would have fucking crushed because it's such a unique spectacle. I think that, like, to me is something that I would assume based on all the other like research I've done and seen in the past. And I'm like, oh yeah, all these videos like did that. They didn't try to be funny. Well, some of them did. They didn't try to provide value with mods. They just said, hey, for 8 minutes, I'm going to show you things that make you go, wow, oh, that's it. And then there's definitely like a funny angle, which I haven't necessarily nailed yet, of like, what is it exactly that people go. I do think it is like pretty mathematical to some extent. I know humor is subjective and all that stuff, but I do think there's something there that you could break down and understand. Also, I'm going to turn back on the text-to-speech so that I can hear you guys' lovely voice. Boop and boom. I said boom. There we go. It's on. Text-to-speech is now back on. And yes. Let me catch up on what I said. Okay, so Nog says top 5 mods type videos titles are clickbaity to me, but I still So it's weird because like I still think you can enjoy those videos, but there's something about it that doesn't like ignite that thing within you that like really taps into what you most value about VR. Like for me, if I see a video of like called Valve Deckard anything, I click on it. Now why is that? Well, it's because, like, if I'm really honest, I just value like a really good deal that satisfies all of the yearning I have for a product. that I'm not being satisfied right now by. So like, and if I think any video that did that, I would also probably be like detonated towards. So like any video that says like, this is the best VR controller that you can never buy, like that's something that I'd be like, oh, what the fuck is that? And I'd click on it because it's like promising me something like techie that, but it's not just like, here's this cool tech. It's like, no, here's something that's that. But that kind of makes me think of like exceptionalism. That's why I think it's so important to test things. Like that seems like the promise of exceptionalism of like, this is the best, but like maybe it's not. It's like specifically, maybe exceptionalism would work when it comes to like tech products, but not necessarily like gameplay videos that are just kind of meant to be a fun time anyway, you know. But yeah, I wanted to ask you guys if you guys have like, you could think of anything creative of like, what is your assumption that you think VR people would like often? Like my assumption is that blank, or that VR people value or would click on or would be interested in blank. Because I tested 2 and both mine were pretty big duds. I have another 2 that I want to test, but I'm kind of like, well, maybe I should fucking poll you guys because you guys might have a better insight than me. But yes. Kat says, my thing for VR is all about movement tech.
Catman 11,234 said mine are in the chat.
Yeah, you're in the chat. My thing with VR is that there is all about movement tech. I value mods or anything that give me crazy ability movement-wise, but I don't know if that's helpful. That's kind of helpful. It's to me, it's like a specific kind of assumption that maybe other people would like, or like I do notice like movement tech in the sense that like a mod that gives you movement, or like a treadmill for VR kind of thing. Because I noticed that is also something that people like crank out all the time. Is any sort of like movement in VR video, which is like a merger of tech and accessibility. It seems to do really well. But yeah, I to me, like that, the whole point of this like minimum viable product is what it's called. Where you just kind of try to test something to the extent in which you can kind of like nail something that's like, okay, this is something that clearly resonates in any way. Let me then like, okay, now that I have like any little fucking spark, I can like build around that spark and make a fire. But I need to like find something to have a spark instead of like building this, all like putting all this wood and timber around everything, only for there to be no fucking spark anyway. So it was kind of a waste anyway, you know? So that's kind of the analogy that to me, it makes sense for all the weird happening around this. But anyways, let us go over to the main story thing. Where are you? God damn you. Yes, and then we'll go to the sports story. Take me, unless I can't. Start. Yes. I'm probably skipping so much shit. But yeah. Okay, Kat says, maybe you can translate that to saying people might like mods that give you RPG abilities or crazy abilities that are not part of the base game physics. So... first of all, I appreciate that, feedback and insight. The thing I'm curious about is I have covered, for instance, in Blatant Sorcery, like I've covered mods or whatever that like show off, that show off like sorcery of like crazy degrees, like super insane, like amazing things. Whether it's like dagger bending, which is crazy involved and beautiful. Yeah, and I haven't got like the really powerful response, so I wonder if that's like a good, if that's the, part of me wonders if it's just an angle issue. Like, well, no, you're covering it as like sorcery, and what I really want is like a way for this to be accessible, essentially, like for this to make the game, like, I don't even do that. Just give me like speed. Like if you had like a fucking Quicksilver depiction in a thumbnail and title that shows that you can like warp time and pause time and all the shenanigans you can get up to that would be way more interesting to me. So it's not even necessarily about like the fact that there's sorcery or magic.
11,234 said VR parkour videos seem to get decent views. That's also part of my assumption.
Yeah, that could be a variable too. Yeah, I actually haven't seen any of those. Maybe it's just also different algorithms, so maybe that could be something useful to look into too. Yeah, I've noticed, like at least in the VR space, it seems like there's kind of like a new frontier thing happening, and the thing that kind of irks me a little bit is I was one of the people that like nicked something. Like I got my one video about like spears fucking popped off, and that was like dead channel completely. And like as far as like even in the VR space, like especially in like 2025, everyone's getting like pretty not very good engagement. So I think everyone's kind of off on what people are actually interested in and value within the VR space. So maybe we're in the state of like just hyper leaning into shit to try, like keeping this going. Of like, okay, what's the next assumption that is likely that people might care about and connect with. And yeah, it's tough because I look at that again. I think about that goddamn video, that VR video, and I don't exactly know. Also, is this? Oh, I might not actually have access to the new thing. It might force me to play up until the new thing. Well, damn it. All right.
How's everyone's investigation going?
Also, Nong says, number one, weapons are cool. Oh, for this one, okay. Number one, weapons are cool, and two, it leads to the assumption of how it could be used, would be shown and would be cool, which it often is. So I thought that too, Nong. So like it's tough because I've looked at that video, the showing off different weapons from history and stuff like that, with one angle which was like me going into the nitty gritty of like how you would use it and like the cool variables because of it and all that stuff. And if I look at the analytics, like the first 10 minutes of the video has great engagement. Like people loved it. But as soon as I got into like the nitty gritty of explaining like the variables of you doing a certain type of thrust and why that's useful and why that's so hard to dodge and all these things, that's when people started dropping off. So in my takeaway was, okay, people like the like building this up and the like feeling out the funness of it, like keeping it into the dream state and not keeping it into like the grounded, here's how you do it reality. Like you're not watching a guide, you're watching spectacle essentially, like something you want to see the spectacle of it. But the issue with that is I think I also started to morph it into like live commentary silliness, which I think works, but I don't think they really work together really well. Like I don't see many YouTubers have like a really serious story and topic or like something they're really digging into, and then like take a pause to be like super silly for like a solid minute or 5 minutes just to like show off the weapon and kind of being silly. I don't see that often, and maybe there's a reason for it. I see like Hobby, who's like a really popular. He's one of the few like VR channels that's consistently just crushing it, and I wonder if that's why is because he just puts like a small little interject in the story that he's telling that kind of like snaps you out of it.
I haven't found any clues.
Me neither. They all refused to tell us what happened, presumably by order of Porcelumex. I also checked out the hollow cable car. I don't think we'll be able to blend in. Looks like we'll have to find another way into the hollow. Should we contact the captain that helped us to sail us there?
No need.
Don't worry. I found a worker who's willing to take us into the hollow.
FYI, I don't. This is a part. I think we're just storing the story a little bit. I'm still behind.
He experienced
this will mean nothing to any of us. Yeah.
Apparently, the anti-corruption medicine Tops provided was defective and caused a major corruption outbreak among the workers.
I see. No wonder the workers are demanding compensation and coverage for their medical bills.
Big bad villain is actually big bad and evil. Shocker. But hey,
is this information reliable?
I haven't verified it.
It seems credible. But we still need to investigate the side of the incident.
Ignoring Fetus said the how it could be used, not how to use it, or how to be a god, how it could be used, which is expected to be good, entertaining, which it often is, was.
Let me see. I gotta understand that. I'll be honest, that was that is how it could be used, not how it is actually used. So does that mean like not leading into the guidification of it all and instead leading into the possibilities, maybe like the possibilities of where it could be applied and not necessarily like the detail of it being applied? Is that what that means? Or how good it could be, or how to be good, or how it could be good, how I could be used, the showcasing of it, which is expected to be good, entertaining, which is okay. I see. So instead of like breaking it down to slowly show the like movements, instead of showing like a person attacking you and showing it like a quick example of the
Catman 11,234 said it's like saying, here's a spear, you could do this and this and this, spectacle, VS, this is how to thrust, take a stance.
What did he mean by that?
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay, so yeah, it's less about like the guidification, it's more about just showing off the like the what if potential of it, or the spectacle. Yeah, spectacle, maybe it's a better way to phrase it. I really want someone to be like, just try this, Grin. For me, just try this assumption. And I know it's difficult because I'm asking you guys something, but like I have the framing in it in my head. So like I know, like for instance, if somebody said, hey, I want you to test for me the assumption Like, for instance, if Kat said, I want you to test the pure assumption that people really, really dig movement abilities within VR. That's it. So, like, I want you to go, and I want you to find any movement ability. Give me, like, 2 mods on Blade and Sorcery that give you cool movement, whether that's, like, a leap, whether that's, like, a Spider-Man pull or something, or a teleport. Who cares? Anything like that. I want you to signal in the title and thumbnail.
Catman 11,234 said for me, Grin, make me a video trying to copy Marvel Rivals abilities in VR to test the assumption that people dig crazy VR abilities.
See, that's weird. That's not weird, sorry. I don't mean to say it's weird. I mean to say, like, it helps when someone's like, this is the assumption, can conceive of a way to apply that. But, like, the Marvel Rivals angle, maybe... The issue is I'm not sure. The issue is I feel like it's quite out of left field. Like, I don't know if anyone on my channel with VR stuff watches.
Non-Fetus said, may I suggest you see if PPL prefer flashy videos over substance videos?
Let's see. May I suggest you see if people prefer flashy videos over substantive videos? To tell you the truth, man, in my estimation, like, especially with all the, like, the little data points that I've gotten back, that's the thing that's a little, like, weird, like, interesting to me. Where, like, I find that people, it's so weird. I subsequently believe that, like, a lot of people don't actually, like, again, that's what it is. I feel like
Lone Syndicate said, "I'll be lurking."
Enjoy the lurk alone. But, like, that kind of is how I feel, where, like, I think I have probably gotten to a point where, like, I can make a video inoffensive, meaning most people, when they watch it, will like, watch it, and maybe they'll click away in the first 30 seconds, but they won't, like, think it's shitty, they won't write me a negative comment, they won't downvote it. I have, like, a shockingly low amount of downvotes on every video I make. But... what do you call it? When it comes to this other stuff, so I think it's, like, about getting the right insight. They're like nailing that thing that people are excited by that will, like, get them to act, get them to move, get them to click, essentially. And then I can, like, piece together something that is inoffensive enough to keep them watching. But, like, I just need to nail that one thing that is something that's interesting enough for people to click on. The issue is that you need to then understand what, like, people... what specifically resonates with, like, VR people and what they value. And it's funny because the thing that's really interesting to me is it's not what necessarily you would think. Like, to me, maybe it's that everybody does this. Maybe it's that everybody does, like, top 10 mods or top 10 whatever. That, like, it just doesn't work on VR people anymore. Whereas, like, for me, if I think about, like, VR videos that I've clicked on, it's usually of, like, a niche game I didn't know I wanted. I remember when I seen a video that popped up for, like, Vampire the Masquerade, the VR game, that I completely forgot about. And it was just a person playing it. And, like, they didn't even work hard on it. But the video had, like, a crazy amount of views because... it just showed, like, hey, by the way, this game exists that you probably forgot about. It's now on PC, and it's actually pretty fucking good. So, like, it was something that, like, I don't even think that guy knew what he did, but I got to act on it. So yeah. But yeah, when Nong says, like, do people like flashy videos or more like substantial videos? It's tough because, like, I think I can make something that's flashy and exciting, and that would work. And then I think I could also make a video that's, like, very, like, story-driven, like, trying to explore, like, a topic that's interesting or meaningful in some capacity, and that could work. I think the only thing that really matters is, like, the face of it, the packaging, essentially. Like, did you talk about something that allows you to signal something that makes people want to go in? So, like, I just need to know what assumption or, like, insight to, like, go in on to then know... to then know what to talk about, what to focus on. Like, I need that spark, essentially. And that spark is something that, like, I have to find that one insight, essentially. Or assumption, I should say. Because the insight, I think it starts off as an assumption and then becomes an insight. And that insight then could be, like, iterated upon, and then you could, like, lose it. Because you might be, like, lean into the wrong thing, you know?
That was a long time ago.
Lonong says, like, in my perspective, you're talking about... you're already talking about mods. Most people who use mods are what I'd consider to be advanced users. So they'll figure out how to do the shit. They want to see what they can do. Yeah. No. Again. Well, so that's something that'd be an interesting thing to test. Is that thing I talked about before, which is spectacle. Like, if I extract everything out of the video. And that's something, like, I noticed with the lightsaber things, which is, like, people just care about, like, show me something that, like, makes me shocked, excited, or, like, super intrigued. Spectacle. Something that makes me go, wow. And that's it. If you wanted to, like, interject your other stuff, maybe. But yeah. Shad, gotcha. And we're just kind of talking about if anyone wants to contribute to this. I know not everyone will because no one has like a feeling on this.
Some of them were relocated here. But we haven't come to Swabian Temple much since then.
But I guess I came out of this with 2 of them. I'll do that one. I'll test the assumption of spectacle, and then I'll try to think of something that fits Cat's MO of like the assumption of I think it was like specifically about I gotta find it what it was. Test the assumption that people dig crazy VR. But yeah, it's maybe like VR, like abilities specifically. I wonder what that would be though. That's a little harder to like nail down. Because like Cat's thinking like 2D chess with his idea of like Marvel Rivals, because they'll tap into the Marvel Rivals community and they also tap into the VR community. The issue is you also need to satisfy both, which is tough. Like I don't know if maybe it's definitely possible. That's the thing. It's crazy because I see a guy who like does a lot of VR content, who like that's his whole MO. He just basically shows like For Honor in Blatant Sorcery, like shows off the fighting styles, does all that, and it breaks my heart, dude. Because like I did that for a time. I reset 1,000 times just to get the right clip that showed me like dunking on somebody, and for the video to get like 1,000 views or something is insane. Like it takes that takes a week of nonstop, like every like spare minute that you have that you're not going to your job to like doing this, like drilling this shit, brutal. So like that guy, I don't want to follow that assumption, but I do think, I do think like what the thing I want to test from Cat's theory is that like, is there a type of, if we like dissolve everything, is there a type of like ability or whatever, or spell or something that invokes like super interest in somebody else? Yes. Like that's something interesting, or an ability. But the question is like, okay, well, there's a Dishonored mod where like you can teleport. Is that very interesting? I don't know. It's also hard to signal in a thumbnail like a teleport as well. It's kind of odd. But I think there was also in that Dishonored mod, there was like the ability to summon rats at the bottom of someone's feet and they like devour them. I think that would make for a good thumbnail, would introduce a cool power. I could see the thumbnail with like a gross corroded void hand with like a person getting like consumed by rats. That would be pretty crazy, pretty spectacle driven. The title detonated something like the craziest dark magic mod you ever seen or something, or this dark magic mod will give you trauma, whatever the hell you want to call it. That could be an angle that works. Shit like that. Like maybe that's something I could try. Anyways, I probably should not do this live on stream. Sorry. Play games. But I really appreciate you guys brainstorming with this because I want to start working on my next like test batch of assumption videos, because my previous test batch kind of got back to me like, nope. That's not it. Yikes. But again, it's nice because at least you like can check things off the list and be like, okay, well, I know it's not exactly that. It could be some variant.
No wonder the captain wouldn't take our money.
Gnawing Fetus said, make sure to signal the flash in the flashy test.
Yeah, well, that's tough because like, man, like you don't know in the title. Yeah. It's tough because people are quite different, like, but they're also very similar. That's what like the whole packaging is weird. That's why I think it's so important to get like the insight correct. Instead of like, and it's kind of hilarious because
Catman 11,234 said, in the same way you enjoyed me talking about my work, it was fun to brainstorm with y'all.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, I was gonna say for the title flashiness, it's interesting because like you're trying to find that one insight. That's what I was saying. But it's funny because there's things that just like circumnavigate shit like that, you know. Like for instance. Like titties. It sounds horrible, but like sex sells. And like as much as you can like, oh, but what about this? If you just show like a beautiful woman in a provocative position, people are like, oh, for whatever reason, I am very interested in this, and they'll click. So like your insight can be shit. And this is kind of like, it sounds fucked up, dude, but dude, this is the MXRification of it. Except I think MXR pushed it really fucking far. But the idea is like what we're just talking about like, so long as you can like meet people's expectations and format your content in a way that makes it at least like not offensive, meaning people don't click off or think like, oh, I downloaded that was terrible. And they can kind of like just whatever, the insight gets them in the door, and the video not being repulsive is enough to keep them fine. And then I think then YouTube's like, okay, you had pretty decent watch time, you got pretty decent CTR because people clicked on it. Okay, we'll push it, you know? So yeah. TTS are my messages. I did. What do you call it? It's not saying it, but I did see your message pop up. So your messages aren't getting eaten at least.
Let's talk about something else.
Mimic your Lance video title. I tried. That's the thing. No, I did the same thing with the what do you call it? I did the same thing. That's what's kind of crazy. Like I made a video about like I forgot. It's actually did really well over time, which is hilarious. But I did one on the mace, which is like history's. I don't know what it was. Some sort of weird title, but it was like kind of interesting, kind of unique. History's like most brutal weapon or something like that, or the biggest underdog, so on and so forth. I have done those videos. I think I did one recently that I thought was also pretty decent about like doing that, leaning into one of those mechanisms of like, here's a cool weapon, here's what it can do. Boppity boopity, you know? I do think there's ones that are like way more just interesting visually. Like it's crazy, man. With all the like the video creation I've done over the years, sometimes you get a video idea or like an assumption that you want to test, like from anywhere. So like for me, I think out of all the weapons and thumbnails you could do, if in Blade and Sorcery I held up like 2 nunchucks and then like a person in front of me with a face with like a sword, I think that'd be pretty provocative as a title, because you're like, how the hell is this going to work? How good can this fucking be in a game with swords, magic, and a bunch of other shit? Like nunchucks, etc. So I think like there's that angle, which I think would do well, but maybe not. Maybe it's too boring. Like this is the thing where like I would find that curious, but maybe a person who's just like super like skipping through videos would not lock on to how weird that is. Yeah.
That's right. Why don't we eat something nice before heading in?
No need to worry. It's just something from the past.
I'm going to skip most of this.
Let's focus on the investigation.
Got it. Nothing. We're doing things. We're investigating. Yes. Belle's made for the beach, I guess. But yeah, what do you call it? The advice that Non gave for like mimic your previous video is great. I did, but I think like dude, I think I kind of. It's tough because the video that did well, it's always how it works. It's so fucking horrible that it happens like this. But I don't have like a fucking endless amount of knowledge about weapons. I know about the 2 weapons I really like, and that's it. You know? So like I can't keep pulling from like, here's the thing that I learned. So the video that like I didn't want the reason why people like that video to be like the martial aspect of it. So I leaned into everything else. I leaned into like, here's how this weapon's kind of cool. I didn't deliver like what you were saying, Nong, about like spectacle as much, like just like talking about how amazing the spear is in this context, and this context, and this context, and not explaining like the forms, but just like why it's so good and how you can use it and why that's powerful, stuff like that. Which I probably should have, but yeah, maybe I'll try doing that. I just don't know what else to use. Like what weapon is I did. I used the halberd. That's what I did. I made like a quick video as I was leaving on my vacation. Probably wasn't very good. Didn't really have intention behind what I was trying to do with it. But I wonder what other weapon I could do that has like the same. Because I've covered the halberd. I've covered the saber. I've covered the spear. I've covered the mace. I've covered. I don't think I haven't done a greatsword. Only thing I haven't done is like daggers maybe, or like tonfo, or like a bonkai. Those things could be flashy enough to be like, hey, but I don't know if I know how to make them usable, like to talk about how good they are in certain things, because one is literally just a fucking giant bat. You know, like, yeah. Nog says, yeah, then in a video show you opening a can of whoop-ass. I don't know about nunchucks, though. I imagine you getting some cross traffic from weapon nuts, and nunchucks are kind of flashy point on how side flashpoint on some of the yeah. That's the weird thing, man, is that like it's so weird because like you just want like one insight, like, and it sounds weird, but like for me, really early on and like Let It Die's infancy, I found out that like, oh wow, this game has like such a brutal level up structure where you have to dedicate like fucking 15 hours to leveling up a weapon from 1 to like 100. So I thought, oh well, I'll show off my weapon and why it might be good. One of the weapons I thought was actually amazing is the hockey stick. I said like, this is one of the best weapons in the game. You should totally go and try to level it up. It sucks that there's a gap in its leveling system, so you can't like use it on a certain floor range. But anyways, but then there was this weird. I kind of fell into this, but like people, if they lost on your by defending your base, they would just drop really good gear to you. So then I had this thing where like on stream I would just go to like have a bunch of cool gear and go like rob people's bases, intentionally dying, losing nothing, and then just like giving out good weapons to everybody. And I did it on YouTube a lot. Like I did it for like live streams and all that stuff. So then to this day, dude, I still have people when I log into Let Die. Like I logged in like a year ago. And I still have like people who left me weapons, essentially. And this ended up happening where I just had all these weapons, so I said, fuck it. I'll just go like show them off. So I just went around showing off like a level fucking 8 cleaver, a level whatever cleaver. And it was kind of supposed to be helpful because it was like, hey, the investment in this game is so hard, like the weapons. Let me show you like something that you might value, which is the fact that like, is this weapon good at its highest tier? Does it pack enough of a punch? Yada, yada, yada. I didn't
Syndicate
know that.
said I heard titties did some summon me.
No, I didn't. That happened a long time ago. But yeah, like to me, it's funny that like I stumbled upon like that assumption or insight that was like, hey, just make videos about weapons because people seem to like it. Now looking back on it, it was like, oh, it's totally wise because it's such a massive investment structure. Yada yada yada. Made so much sense. That's what I want now. That's the one thing I want to find now is that one thing that connects with people in some capacity where like, oh, I can provide that. I can do that. And it not like rip your soul out of your body. Like takes 20 hours to edit and make this monster video, you know? But yes, I have quite a bit of assumptions to now test. Thank you, Nong specifically and Kat as well for helping me with that whole brainstorming YouTube session, etc. I always appreciate you guys doing that. Also, I might possibly make a little sneaky little video on the other channel that we have. Too many channels we have, of course, for manhwa review kind of thing. Like a manhwa. I don't know if I would even say it's a review so much as it's basically a sales pitch. It's like, hey, this is a good manhwa that you should read and it has a cool story. Here's the baseline of it, and here's what it does that's specifically special that you'll actually enjoy. It's a slightly spoilery, but fuck it. It's better than that you know this is a good deal than not. That kind of whole situation. Yeah. We have our own bed here? Oh my god. I didn't even know. Rest, I guess. I don't know. Very nice. Also, guys, I am enjoying playing this game, but I do have to burn my resin in Huohua, so I would like to... Dude, I don't know why that made me so upset at myself. I don't know why when people pronounce stuff, like, as long as you're consistent about what you're pronouncing, then it's just, like, fine, but if you go out of your way to, like, say shit wrong, it always... My head perks up, like, that doesn't... Why did you say it like that? You said normally this many times. I know it's probably fucked up that I'm saying this because I'm a mess.
Nori Fetus said on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being super spoiler, what would you rate the vid?
For me, when it comes to manhwa, I would want to basically like tell the overall premise. So like this is the premise of this manhwa. Like the same thing I did with the manga. Like you know how I told you guys about that like Overlord thing where I was basically like, yeah, all of the 7, think fantasy world, think of all of like the races of this world, each having like a representative from their culture that's like an S tier person. Basically this main kid gets a system that's gotcha. He gets pulled into this thing as the human representative. He then gets abandoned and killed. And then like the same thing I explained to you guys, I would probably do like a quick synopsis of like, this is the first 10 chapters that like tells you what you're getting into. And then I would probably go into things like, okay, here's where I'm going to tell you about like the things that make this story great. So like, for instance, I would talk about how the main character has various moments within the show where he's fucking ruthless. Like I'm talking brutally ruthless. There's also many different things where you're so excited to see another character coming down the pipeline. Like maybe like for an example, possibly it could be like a maid that actually has like a super dark proclivity. Or you could be like a beast man that looks horrifying, but actually is super sweet and wholesome and nice. So like you're always excited to see what other summon he actually has or what other kind of gotcha thing he's pulled over the last 5 years. Secondly, he's kind of clever and his like army is something that they actually leverage and use. So when you're actually like watching him do his thing, go through whatever challenges he's going to go through, he'll actually like fucking call in an army to like possibly, who knows, maybe destroy a fucking town, like a whole kingdom. In one like night. So like to me, those are the things that like make this story worth reading. So like that's the thing I would do with the video. I wouldn't like tell you hey, this is what happens and this is the thing. I might say something like the story, like if I was trying to sell someone Solo Leveling, I would say it has a pretty slow start. It's a little dark and edgy at the beginning, and then it gets way more fun as soon as he starts to get his system and he starts to getting some upgrades, and then as soon as you get to the class assigning part of the story, it becomes S tier. So fucking cool. I'm not going to tell you what he gets, but it becomes so cool. Like, that's the thing that I would like to communicate to people. Without, like, telling them the thing, just telling them, like, this is something that's so special that makes you want to read it and keep reading.
Gnawing Fetus said, spoiling the theme, not the specifics necessarily.
But I don't know, man. I might spoil some specifics if it's necessary. Like to me, if I am struggling to make the point of, like, if only you knew this. Like, if only you knew that, like, what makes it like this, like, maybe it's the premise of a story that's like, listen, the story is all about, like, a person who has, like, a really shitty skill and basically is, like, constantly second guessing himself. Like, for instance, there's an amazing manga out there that's happening right now where this guy gets, like, brutalized because he has, like, a piggy bank skill where essentially he's like a debt collector, where he basically can give power to people, give his own mana to, like, people, and they can use it. So he ends up doing this for a party. The party ends up betraying him and backstabbing him because they think he's useless. Because they end up finding rings that, like, make them regenerate a shit ton of mana, right? So then they kick him to the wayside. He ends up basically, like, pissed off. He's sad. And then at the last minute, he ends up, like, cracking his piggy bank. And the piggy bank pops out like a fairy. And this fairy is the most beautiful rendition of pure, sinful greed and capitalistic hell that you've ever seen. Think of a fairy that looks pretty and then has, like, a warping face of death and hell that's like, take every bit of cash from every one of them, and get some dollars from an orphan and force them to pay it back before they reach adolescence and all that stuff. Think that with, like, a really wholesome boy who's, like, gotten shit on his whole life, and you have, like, a fairy that's, like, in it to make him win probably too much, make him win too much. And yes, and that's basically the premise of the show is he basically starts pulling all the mana that he's, like, made deals with, and then he can spend upgrades for himself, like whether it's like breathing underwater or whether it's like a special, like, sword art type of attack, things like that. And that's where the story starts getting extra nice. And it does, and this is the other thing I would like to mention, like, hey, it does start to lose some of its teeth when it doesn't keep playing into the thing. Because, like, I would like to also mention things that always irk me about storytelling, where, like, the creator of the story has clearly lost why people initially started reading it. So, like, in this, like, if I just told you that example of that story, like this guy, like, kid with a little piggy bank who basically is like give mana to people and then get, like, 10x back, things like that, it would make sense that, like, the story would eventually elaborately, like, evolve into him, like, going to the Adventurers Guild and, like, getting a bunch of people and, like, basically, like, slowly recruiting, like, residual mana gain over time by, like, giving his out and stuff like that. Instead, it's like, what if instead it became a harem? Okay, what if instead he ends up fighting a random demon that we introduced in 4 chapters and killing it in the second one, and then we rinse and repeat for 50 fucking chapters? What if it did that instead of leaning into the thing that you found most interesting, which is the economification of this power set? None of that's happening. It happens, like, once every 8 chapters to not satisfy you. But yeah, like, so to me, I would also like to kind of be like, guys, it's a great story, but goddamn do they lose the sauce, you know what I mean? So that's something I want to do with it, because I love these stories. I'm also, like, reading, like, this is the other thing that's weird. Like, I make content about video games. I don't play a lot of video games anymore, man. I do.
Peter said spoiling the suck isn't spoiling it.
Yeah, I just think, like, to me, I mean, this is where, like, maybe I should intro the videos or the channel like this, or, like, the reset of the channel, whatever it is, like this, where it's like, the goal of these videos is to show you, like, a story worth reading, and I would rather you not. Like, again, I don't, like, maybe it's fucked up, but, like, I don't really believe in spoilers, because, like, if a story can be spoiled, it's a dog shit story. Like, it's not the thing. It's, like, almost like, I don't know. To me, like, the whole point of a story is for you to be able to go through the ups and downs and, like, the minutia of everything and the feel of, like, the pull and push of the ocean, etc. It's not, like, the fact that you know that the main character gets, like, summoning, to me, doesn't, like, debilitate the fact that he got the summoning. Like, in the fact that you've allowed yourself to not enjoy a story because you think it got ruined for you is insane to me. You know, like, if anything, my goal is to be like, this is like one of the things I want to make. It's the only video I have in my head of like talking about anime again or manga again. It's the only video that I want to make that's negative. And it's about this story that's like, to me, the biggest sin of all stories I've ever read. It's so awesome. It's called Steel Eater. Such a cool idea of a manhwa. Basically, think of like Magneto, but like in like a modern day fantasy with like towers sprouting out all over the world, except he's a soldier and he's like working in like a Korean soldier camp, and then he regresses basically. So like he goes through a bunch of trauma of the apocalypse. He then regresses, and it starts off with him basically being like, I need to literally the show or the manhwa starts off with him reaching into his pockets and he's like listening to a commander troop like talk to his soldiers and like talked about like training, and they're in like a military training up their soldiers type of camp. Him reaching into his pockets and him like eating gun shells, metal gun casings, I should say. Fucking metal as hell. And that's what he keeps doing. He keeps like eating metal. You're like, what the fuck? And you find out that his special skill is metal manipulation. And the more you eat, and the more it dissolves in your stomach, the more you can manipulate like 2 ounces of metal, 5 ounces of metal, weight range of like whatever. And then he starts getting because he's regressed. He basically goes and starts getting power ups. Like, oh, I know there's a gate gonna unlock over there. I'm gonna go there, kill that guy real quick, get the power up. Now I can like wield like 7 lead poles of steel that can like smash through my enemy. Awesome. But so fucking quickly. The thing that made you watch the show, the thing that made you invest in the story is like him getting these incremental power gains and him like getting more and more like metal manipulation to the point where he's like fucking throwing skyscrapers or something crazy. Instead, they do that thing that I just rambled about, which is like, instead of leaning into the thing that we know you guys like and why you signed up for this, instead here is him fighting a stupid, dumb boss every 10 chapters, which you don't have any emotional attachment to. He's also an idiot. So, like, you're just, like, seeing him do nothing. And you're seeing, like, dude, it drives me so fucking absurdly angry when stories give so much perspective on what the fucking villains are doing. It's just, like, all I see is this guy be evil and him walking into a fucking, like, gangbang nightmare hell trap, I just gotta sit there. I'm like, guess what, he's gonna fucking smash his face in the wall. Great. Now I just gotta sit for 3 chapters watching him like eat shit and die, even though I knew it. Why signal to it, say that, oh, there's some weird schmutz on the ground over there. What could that be? Oh, there's that old guy in the background, looks hella sketchy. Oh shit, he's there. Now he's telling you about how he's gonna blow up this whole fucking railway station or something. Instead of it being like, here's an elaborate 5 chapters going into the evil guy doing evil actions while the main character just ducks him and keeps letting evil stuff happen. And guess what? When he finally fucking kills the bad guy, he decides to not kill him. He decides to, guess what? He escapes, actually. Though we could do the same thing for 5 more chapters. And it's hell. It's literally hell. It's just the worst. Anyways, it's called Steel Eater. Don't read it. It is awful. It is the most shit story I have ever read that had such good potential, and it's just awful. I will normally not shit on a story like this. I'm so mad at it because it does every fucking bad thing that you could do to a story that's cool. Anyways, hi. We're streaming apparently. Anyways, spoiling the suck isn't the spoiler affects my reading speed. Spoilers affect my reading speed of it, which affects how things hit to me. Best way I can describe it. Why I don't mind thematic spoilers, but I care for specific spoilers. But again, spoiling, I can describe it. Why? I can't describe it. Why I don't thematic spoilers, but I do care. But yes, I can understand a little more about specific spoilers. But, like, I don't know. To me, I think it's just because I'm also on such the other end where, like, I don't think I've ever told a spoiler that, like, to me, unless it's, like, literally the whole story is based on, like, a gotcha twist ending, maybe then the spoiler can be pretty impactful. But, like, me knowing that, like, I don't want to spoil it, but, like, it's not spoiled, but I think most people know. But like, in Solo Leveling, the main character gets a specific type of class that makes it like a really interesting story. And I think like that would, like, if I was watching a video and I was wondering what anime to read, I heard about like a generic modern day fantasy where a guy gets like a level up fucking whatever thing, I'd be like, okay. But if I told you that like it's really well executed and it's really a story about like it's like really one of the best necromancer stories ever, satisfies that weird itch of like how powerful this would be, how fucking sick it would be, how through every battle you gain more and more power because you're fucking taking the souls of your enemies and able to use them again. It fucking delivers on that. Like if somebody told me that, I'd be like, oh, so it's more than just it's like a level up story. And I don't know if someone would tell me like, oh, just wait until you got the special class ability. Like maybe that would be cool, but I wouldn't be upset that someone's like, hey, hey, this story is not just about this. It's kind of about this. Especially if it's like that's like fundamental to like what the story is, you know. Like again, like imagine Nong, if I suggested you a story, and there was like a really fucked up, horrible. Like there's this main heroine and she's lovely and it's wholesome and it's sweet, and then the story pivots completely and she gets brutalized in some capacity.
Gnawing Fetus
Wouldn't
said
you want to know?
A specific character dies halfway through the manga makes it hit a lot differently than when it happens naturally.
Yeah, I suppose, but like for me, like maybe it's just because like I want someone to watch out for me, like in that way. So like if someone was like, hey, here's this manhwa. One of the only things I thought was like a really big problem of it, or not even that, just being like, hey, by the way, this is a point that will like dissuade you. Like I guess that's what I would like to phrase it as. That's why I want to enter into like the video structures with this weird manhwa like showcase or whatever kind of video I might want to make. I want to be like, what is something that would basically make someone be like, why the fuck did I start reading this if this is how it's going to end up? Or like this is going to be a variable that's going to like something that like is super not like it makes it awful, you know, like that idea of like, oh, I'm going to watch like this romance thing that's super nice and wholesome, but then like at the halfway mark, the character fucking dies, and then like I'm just like, well, what the fuck? Why did I invest in this? You know? And now some would say by me telling the reader or the viewer this is something that happens, this person dies, that's technically a pretty severe spoiler. But it's like, oh, okay, let me like package that nightmare cyanide pill for you over here so you can. I'm like, no. Okay, same thing is like if this happens, I want someone to tell me, hey bud, if you don't mind like sorrow in storytelling, this is going to be your story. If you hate it and you find like, why the fuck did this character die for no reason that was awesome, we all loved, don't read this. You know what I mean? Like that to me is something that that's the goal of the video. I should probably say that is my goal with telling you this is to tell you what like the story has to offer and to kind of protect you against things. But I guess I wouldn't make videos on stories that are shitty, I guess, all the time. That's not my intention, is to make videos of like, this is a bad story, let me rant about it. My intention would be to show like, this is an amazing story, this is why it's amazing, and this is why, these are all the things that like make it meaningful, and some of them I think could slightly be considered spoilery, but I think it's a good note, it's a really good note by Nong to say like, if you can avoid specific spoiler things, and I'm assuming that would help people. And I could also segregate it as like, this is the premise of the show, boom. This is the things I think make it special, and some of those things would be considered. It'll make you understand like a thematic thing that could happen that maybe you don't want to know. The issue with that is it's going to eat the shit out of retention. It's going to be like, people are going to be like, oh, is this spoiler range? I'm going to click off the video. The video's going to die. So there's all those variables to consider too. Anyways, I didn't mean to hit go. Actually, that's a mistake. Well. Because I kind of wanted to play a little. What do you guys want? You guys want to go do this quest chain with ZZZ, or do you want me, or would you guys be okay with me jumping over to Withering Waves and just banging up my dailies and maybe an event here or there? Although I don't know the event, honestly. The suck isn't spoiling anything. Okay, so yeah, so explaining like the shittiness of the story that's fine. Me knowing a specific character dies halfway through the manga makes it hit a lot different than if it does otherwise. Kat says, I don't care either way. Gotcha. Kat's like, listen, man. I'm here. I'm here just vibing. Oh, wait, no. Kat say, I don't care either way about Zenless. I got you. You don't care if we want to switch over to Withering Waves or Zenless.
Gnawing Fetus said, oh, there went my idea. Was gonna suggest to segment the spoilers, make them like 3/4 of the way through.
Great minds. Great minds.
God, Fluffican said you're clearly not invested into ZZZ. What with skipping multiple story chapters? Go play Woo-Wah.
Well, I don't know. It's not that... Okay, sorry. It's not that I'm not...
Raid Nate said the event on Woo-Wah is a tower defense event, so I think you should keep playing Zenless.
Just do like the tower event thing? Maybe we do that. But I was going to say, it's not that I'm not... It's a very weird place to be, because like I like the story of Zenless. I enjoy the game of Zenless. I just don't have like the time to invest in it. So like I almost have to make a choice between Withering Waves or Zenless. So oftentimes I just make Withering Waves because I tend to have like slightly better luck there, and I kind of like the like investment structure a little bit more there. But it's not that I don't like this game. So it's weird. I'm in this weird kind of like thing where like I'm enjoying my time here, but the story ends up being something. I guess I should stop trying to. It's correct. If I'm honest, I'm just not as invested in this story as I am in the other one. But it's not to say that it's a bad story. It's just to say for whatever reason I haven't been as invested in it. And it's not like I don't know. Like again, it's weird because like I know it's good storytelling. It's kind of like having like an anime list where like people tell you that the story is great and you trust that it's good. But I'm not invested in it. I'm not motivated to play it at that level, you know. And I want to even say like if I got a character, it would fuel me to want to play it. But the nature of gacha games is that it's so slow to usually make a character. Unless you're hella prepped and you're super confident about getting this character. And even then, if you level up the character and you get him, you don't always get to like play with them like crazy, you know? Yeah. So it's a little odd, but yeah. Let's do just a little bit more of the one event. And I just generally need to swap over to Withering Way just to burn my resin. We'll bang out a little bit of these. The Withering events are kind of mid. Well, yeah, probably.
McFlufferkin said literally just exposited. I'm not invested, with more words.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. I eventually came around. That's why I kind of agreed with you. I ended up being like, I'm wrong, and then I ended up being like, yeah, no, you're probably right in the sense that that's probably more true. Yeah. Also, it feels better to communicate how you feel in your words rather than just saying, yes, you are right. You know, it feels better to be like, well, I guess, and then to work through something in your own mind and through your own words. I feel like it's much more. It makes you understand, I guess, why you're agreeing or like you see the truth in something, I guess. Go to battle, stage 2 maybe. Oh, I guess we didn't do stage 1. Oh, we did. It's just the next thing. Okay. I was gonna say, Raid. Yeah, to me, maybe it's just a difference in what people enjoy. But like, when it comes to Withering Waves, I can only speak on, like, there was a card event that I didn't really like in Withering Waves. I thought it was pretty whatever. But I'm not sure if you got to play with the, what was it called? The Furlova. She had like an event where like you could summon in like cards or like little things on the map. And I don't know why, but to me it really like scratched that itch because there was like 2 builds that you could run in it. One of them was like a Devour build where like there were like certain nodes that you could put on the map that just kept spawning like ads, cubes it was, and then you could summon other enemies that just like devoured everything around them. So the cubes would keep spawning, and then the enemies would just keep devouring those things, and then the more they devoured, the stronger they would get. So if you just knew how to like throw a couple of these things to devour everything on the field, you could go crazy. There was another build where like you could merge. It was like constructs merging. So like you could just keep putting constructs, and eventually if they were in the right line, like grid pattern, they would merge together, and you just get this like giant construct. So I don't know. To me, some of the events are really creative, but also in Withering or in ZZ had one that was awesome too, where it was like the Bang Boo event, where same thing where like you spawn like 3 or 4 Bang Boos on the field and they fucking start eating shit live.
Said
you know?
That event put me sleep.
Oh really?
I didn't even bother with it after the tutorial.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, but I could also see if you didn't actually invest in it. Like to me. Yeah, if an event doesn't resonate with you, that makes sense. But I was gonna say, to me, if you actually put in the time to understand how it works, I think you'd start to get like the build itch, like I want to make a build of this, and if I get this stacked up, then this gets crazy. So it gets kind of fun. Tower defense ones to me are a little rough because you can only do so much as far as skip goes. What? Get over there. Oh, I guess I can only put him here. Yeah. Ooh, but that's gonna take damage. Oh, I made a mistake. I didn't see it back there. Can I restart? I would like to restart. I didn't see him there. He hid in the bushes. Yes. Yep, all that. Is it sped up? Speed. Did he go straight? No. They all go into the bushes. Should we go for... Yeah, probably an electro one right here would be good. 11. Don't kill my boy. I don't want to put him there. I want an electro one. Pop off. Good. Now they're changing it up. I wonder if I can put another 5. No, it's too much money. Should I put one here? Yeah. That way it gets both sides when this thing eventually falls, which it will. This guy is still the cheapest. By the time it's ready, I think I'll get another one of him. I mean, if you enjoy it, all power. No, I'm not. We don't have to like the same things, for sure. But it's one of those things where I think if you actually did play a little more of it, you would have found that, like, because I do think there's, like, for most things, it's like if you don't put in the time, it's hard to probably find that, like, turnover point where, like, you understand enough to be able to be a little more silly and enjoy the whole time experience type thing. Also, I wonder if I should put another one. I should put this one behind it just in case. That's going to break eventually. Also, Nog says, to specify on my earlier example, knowing a specific character dies is a big spoiler. Knowing a major character dies is a thematic class spoiler to me. What does that mean? A thematic class spoiler? What does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah, I like the idea of keeping things like that. Like, it's not that bad to signal something like that of, like, here's the initial part of the video is the breakdown of what the first part of it is, and the second part is the general things that this thing does specifically really well, and then the last being like, okay, these are things I think would polarize somebody. Like, the main character never makes a choice on who he likes within the first 100 chapters. He's just kind of a weird, like, he's asexual, he doesn't feel anything, or hey, this guy doesn't show any interest in anybody, you know. Or what? No, this guy is like a real big softy when it comes to insert thing, you know, something that may be polarizing to people. I think that makes sense thematically to pace out the video like that. Although I also want to make sure I enjoy this process. I don't want to, like, go into the whole manhwa recap video streams being too anal about it, you know what I mean? Raid says, this Zenless tower defense seems kind of nice. Just because you can put stuff down midway. Yeah, I just have never been, like, I think I'm just not a tower defense guy in a lot of ways. To me, it's very, like, all right, I wish if I could, like, 3x the time, it'd be great. Because that's my issue. I just don't want to see the characters, like, trickling down the thing. Like, it's a time assessment fucky thing. Ooh, should we put, where's my cap? Is that it? It must be. Let's put this here, actually, so this can get to it, too. They go invisible. I can see this being a real pain in the ass eventually. Ooh, the heal person. Let's put... Can he reach that? I think so. Do we want to put that there? Probably here. Unless it can't reach. That maybe works. If we do here, it should have reach with this Electro guy. Heal him! I want to save for Electro Boyo. Should we do that here? I think here, because it will shoot this way. We could still reach. Yeah, anyways. Alright. Are we speeding up? Speed up. No! Oh, I lost. I forgot that was the thing. Oh, no. Well, ignorance is not bliss. Unlucky. Nog says, I like spoiling a theme. Like this anime has this trope, for example, kind of thing. Yeah, I guess to me, it's tough because I guess it's like based on who you want to make the video for. So like, for me, I'm trying to make the video, I think, for people who like, I'm just really excited. Part of it is also selfish. Like, part of me also wants to just like talk about why I love a story. So like, maybe it is like half and half. It's a video that's made for people who are like, I just want to, why is this such a good story to you? But then the other aspect of it is like, oh, I just really want to gush about like the specifics of the story and how cool it is. It's almost like a review. So like a review is made for people who both haven't seen the story and also have.
Raid Nate said, "Man, I can't wait for Borderlands. I need more fast-paced action shit. I crave combat."
Have you gotten the thing yet? The build maker stuff, Raid, or is that not your speed? I always like going in there and like having an idea of my build before I go in to actually play the game. And oftentimes it changes. It's like, oh, this is not what we're doing at all, you know. But you do your best. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. Should we? Yeah, if we do here, we cover this, and this, and this is the entry point here. And they're gonna come out this way too. Maybe they come out of both these sides. I just wonder where the other people came out. Put one right here. For the other guys. Give me just enough for the fire guy. Come on, this. Oh, there's a wraith. God, please kill him. Something. Oh, I fucking got through. The goddamn wraiths, man. That sucks. No, we're not dying because. No, stop. We're not dying because of fire. Can I put you over here? I can't. God damn it. Let's put you. I probably should have put him here because this is the crossroads. Well, fuck it. These guys. We need more heat over here going away. Speed. Maybe make 2 videos. One trying to sell it with the why sucks and how it does. Another being a critique of it. That's a little much for me who can barely keep up with like 1 video a week for my VR channel.
I probably should do that, but I usually don't just cause I want to kind of do it on the fly so I can see how my build performs in game.
That's a good
idea.
That's a good idea. I suck at these, man. Okay, so that's
McFluffican said I want that ladybug bangbu we got in that isometric combat mode a while back. Doesn't need to have the full loadout, but would have been a cool offensive support. Boo.
Boo. You missed it, so you didn't get it? I want that ladybug. You haven't got the thing? Or is that a bug on screen, something like that? There's an event with a ladybug? Or is that an upcoming thing? Let's see. All right, we're running this back a second time. Maybe we just go with the minimum viable thing. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. We have to get a little sharpshooter guy up there sooner, though. I don't think we need the heal guy yet. Come on, baby. Let's put him. Should we put him here? Probably. Alright, I want to put one in here to stop the death from happening. That might have been a bad idea. No! Good! Stun his ass! Good shit. Stun. Wait. Okay. And
McFluffican said it was a mini-game mode from a few patches ago, introduced with Pulchra, Sanbi and such.
Oh fuck.
But we never got it as a bangbu directly.
Oh fuck. Come on, 6. Just give me 6. Oh, quickly. Heal that motherfucker, please. Oh, is that not a heal guy? Why does he have a heal node on him? Oh, no. Oh, there's nothing over there. He's so weak. Oh. And they got through anyway. This sucks. I'm terrible at these. I don't know, man. Put another fucking blockade guy here, I guess. Honestly, we didn't really need this guy. It was just his guy was plenty enough. So now we know we can take a lot of kills anyway. I want it to be a perfect run, you know? This guy sucks ass. He did nothing. Yeah, right here. Oh no. I really don't know what these guys do as much. Assist points. Oh, they just give you more money. Oh, I forgot that's how they work. Well, that's probably actually smarter to have this on the field. Probably not now, as the thing is basically done, but yeah. No, it's gonna break. Quickly, anything. Kill, please. Oh, it doesn't go through enemies, I don't think. It doesn't do AoE. Damn it. That's doing no damage, man. Ugh. Painful. Get another one in there. Jesus. Yeah, this is nothing. Okay, so this was a fake out, so we really didn't need anything over here at all. Well, let's just grind this out. It feels bad for sure. Yeah, get another one of these electro guys. What? No. What? Oh, I only have so much? Okay, I'll get rid of you. There. Electrocute that motherfucker. Yeah, I don't have the patience nor giga brain to think of tower defense modes as such. We'll do one more though. I gotta do fucking shoulders today. Luckily it's kettlebell. Dude, slam ball is like, it's just pain. Lifting a 100-pound slam ball and pressing it above your head is just pain. There's no like way that it becomes less shit because you have to press as well as push up. So you have to press it this way so it doesn't fall into your head and slam against your skull, and you need to push upwards. So it's just a real like one of these types of things. Horrible. I feel lightheaded. It's hot, dude. Also, we're in autumn. What the heck's going on? We're in like autumn and it's still hot as hell. Autumn is supposed to be when we get nice things. Just a nice good time. Raid says probably should usually do this. You do it on the fly. Nog says I don't know. I'm really just guesstimating.
Raid Nade said I'm still not sure whether I want to use arc knives or the peacebreaker cannons for Rafa as a starting action skill.
Ooh, for Rafa. For Rafa, dude, I've seen a lot of... So, let's take a little interlude. Maybe it's better that we do this. Also, do we actually get... I don't know. Who dis? Also. What does he do? Where does it show you his, like, passive? Strikes forward is that. Upon using his action skill, the sword draw generates success. Increases damage by 30. Oh, that's not bad. Heh. I wonder if these new Bang Boos are actually better than the old ones we have, like the ice enhancement ones. Also, I will take my whopping 100 in gems, thank you. But yeah, dude, specifically, Raid. In terms of goddamned Borderlands, I was watching this one video that, let me see if I can find it actually. It was made by Dex to something. If people are interested in Borderlands, do not look at your screen. I'll be showing some gameplay. There's the screen. Don't look at me. Look somewhere else. But it looked kind of neat. Where are you? Nope. Where are you? There it is. Yeah. So I clicked a bunch. This is the cool... yeah. So you don't have to watch the stream either. I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. I watched this video that basically showed off the gameplay of Harlow and them in like a better light, it seemed like. But I was a little like... First of all, Harlow looks great. Harlow looks like she's kicking ass, taking aim. Look at that shit. 2 pulses of this weapon. Oh, it's a heavy weapon, though, so at least that kind of makes sense. It's supposed to kick ass. But anyways, I went to Vex. Vex also looks pretty good. Rafa, by far, looks like the most good, like, baseline, just solid. Like, I find, like, especially his weapon damage is like that. Fucking crit headshotting someone across the map. All this stuff. All the weapon gear is not ideal, though, for both of these characters. So what is this guy? I'm so sorry. Dantix? How Dantix did this is he basically just used a level 30 give me a character kind of thing. So the gear is not perfect. The gear is probably just like blues, so it's not like his purple gear which he probably had, or legendaries at endgame. But the build that he's rocking right now is his sentry turrets with missile barrage, which looks pretty fucking deadly. Like just immediately, and I think it's on button press, so you can like release a missile barrage on button press. So it's not just like automatic. I think it's automatic, but then you can just like dump. Mag dump, so to speak. Also, look at all these buffs over here, man. Look at all those things. Anyways,
Gnawing Fetus said, "Did you see anything about Vex's pet at all?"
We probably could. I haven't actually watched too much of Vex's yet, but we could definitely check some of it out right now. But I was gonna say, yeah, to me, his turret things, which is kind of like the thing that I thought he'd be the best at. Is just having your turret just like hit a button.
Said, "Oh wow,
boom.
That looks pretty nice."
Yeah. But like you just hit a button and then it goes. I also think his turret skill tree is where he has a lot of his like grenade anointment things, but I could be wrong. But I thought he had a lot of those in there. But yeah, dude. Also look at that, dude. It's a fucking singularity grenade. Oh my god, a cryo singularity grenade that pulls an enemy into the air, freezes them to death, and then you shoot them. They land on the ground and shatter. Is wild. Anyways, but yeah, the melee looks a little rough for honestly a lot of the characters, except for Amon, who can do his like double melee when he's using his roaming daggers or whatever. But yes, very neat. But that's him using his arm cannons. I'm very curious, real quick, just what his like, how his like weird arm cannon thing works in the build or in boss battles. Okay, let's back up. All right, what is this? Throws the thing, it breaks his immunity shield, activates his cannons. Okay. He starts sending out... Okay! That's so fucking cool. I didn't know that. That's what he meant by the... Except it automatically shoots at rockets, but there's a skill tree further to the right column that lets you actually do that, where like you can send out not a goddamn thing, man. That was not nothing. That was a giant ass like death fire orb. Boom. 3K, not bad. And you can still shoot the entire time. That's his ordnate weapon, just unloads. I still think a grenade build looks a little more spicy. The ordnate weapons don't look quite as good as just like a consistent grenade that's coming back every like 5 seconds. You know what I mean? But that was not bad. You're able to get I wonder if the immunity phase is hard locked to the half health. Anyways, we do that. It's decent. It's a little slow.
Gnawing Fetus said, or his jet charge melee. That thing makes melee possible versus aerial enemies. That's its range greater than.
For him with his thing, or are you talking about Amon? You're talking about still talking about Rafa? Because I'll show you guys the Rafa gameplay, and that's what made me a little worried. But let's see what Vex is, because Vex I actually haven't seen too much of. I think he shows what build he kind of went with right here. Doop-a-da-bop-a-da-boo. Come on, Dadex, show it there. That. So he basically went down the cat tree. He specifically went down the middle cat tree, which I don't exactly know. This one, Vex. Well, I guess we could just read or listen.
For a duration. Finally, the action skill we'll be using is fire off Vex and deals damage around her. It also gives her a movement speed buff and lets her fire off Eldritch Blast for a duration. Finally, the action skill we'll be using is Phase Familiar. Having it equipped gives you a permanent pet named Trouble. Activating the skill teleports it to where you're targeting with an explosion.
Yeah, it's like Flax.
I've also given it an augment that lets him summon knives if I hold down the action skill button, and a capstone that lets it create clones of itself. This build revolves around buffing Trouble with crits and crit damage. Vex has a surprising amount of build variety, and although she's a siren, she's the only one of the Vault Hunters that gets bonuses to kinetic damage.
I don't like his dripped out character.
I'll let the gameplay play out, and I'll be back for the next Vault Hunter.
Not what I would choose, but...
McFlufferkin said, I'm probably going Arc Knives, but I can imagine that skill isn't as effective until you invest more into that skill tree.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but the melee build would be so fun, especially if you're like Zero and stuff like that. But I was gonna say, that's a huge ass cat. Now I wonder, let's see if we can catch where it becomes like wily. Like, cause I want to see, like, if that big ass animal can like work its way through like the environment. Because sometimes everything gets stuck. Anything that has like pathing in Borderlands has always been pretty rough. Like, hell, even Death Trap was kind of rough, and he could fucking phase through everything. It's just because he had an animation that, like, he'd spin. So, like, he didn't, like, move forward as he attacked. He'd, like, pause, spin, and then the enemy would just keep walking away. And it's like, how do you guys not just see this when testing? That you have, like, an aggro enemy thing that, like, makes them walk away. Anyways. Is this her actual, like, her main weapon? Dude. That's her fucking
Gnawing
main
Fetus said the pet seems slow.
Yeah, it does. Like, to me, it would make sense that if you could, like when it's in its big mode, like its alt mode, you could keep spawning it wherever you want. Like, that to me would make sense. And maybe it like impacts a slight like Nova Blast, so that there's like a kind of a value damage proposition as well. That debate might work a little bit. Yeah, look at that. The cat's kind of taking a long time just to get to an enemy. You know what maybe wouldn't have this problem? Amon's forge weapons that seem to phase through the world and just immediately track an enemy. They also have the problem where they spend half the time getting to them. They initiate an attack, they attack, and I think the enemy can still just be like backpedaling, and they just miss. And you're like, why are we playing this? What the fuck? There we go. So she activates the big boy ult. He spawns in. It's a badass. Oh man, I'm so annoyed. I'm so, sorry. I should explain. That's a fucking badass enemy. Okay, yeah, big deal, all that stuff. But she summoned, like, there's 2 of them over there, and it's in its like big mode. This is like you're invested into your cat build, I think. So what's good, Julian? Julian says, how do you restore power in nuclear war? I don't know, man. What? Anyways, but yeah, I was just hoping that badass would be just giga melted, and he's still alive.
Gnawing Fetus said slow.
The fucking goddamn thing, still alive. He turned around, Dude, that is the pet class that has a health bar experience, where you're like, go kill my enemies, and you're like, oh, that's a badass. You turn around to get loot or ammo, you turn around, all of your summons are in fact dead, and you're just like, all right, and you start shooting, doing half of the damage that you're doing otherwise. Anyways, maybe this is a unique, like, Giga big boss, badass, that, like, is resistant to the exact elemental type that she does. Maybe. But the damage is not looking great for Vex. So once again, gang, it looking like at least the cat build, rough. But her summoner build with the, like, clones, that might be huge. Because we know for a fact that, like, her summoner scythe people fuck shit up. They, like, kill shit really hard. They hit really hard. And you also just have, like, an aimbot shooter thing that you can summon around. So, like, I don't think it could get bad with that one. It is just insane that, like, this cat should be eating things alive because you only have one of them. Or even with the skill tree that he has, he can get 2 or 3.
Cat build rough. No, that'd be a dog build.
I don't know what to say to make a cat adjacent or something. Anyway, 2 shit lol damn fat. Yeah, I understood the past. I understood where you were coming from. I understand your essence, your soul. No, but yeah, I don't know. That bummed me out a little bit because, like, look at that. It just arrived.
Lone Syndicate said, leave and come back. This ain't Z's.
This ain't Z's, yes. Oh, yeah. We took a detour. All right, we played a little bit of Z's. We did some tower defense. I'm bad at it. I thought Raid was like threw me a lifeline and said Borderlands, and I said, say less. And now we're here. But yes. Yeah, just the idea that the cat should be much more powerful because she already has, like, another class ability, which is, like, way more spread out. So, like, you can summon 2 Reapers and 1 Gunner, I think. Or maybe it's like, maybe you have like 3 summon slots and you can, like, interchange whichever one you want. But even still, yeah, 1 is ranged and, like, hit scan, I think. Well, yeah. So I don't know. That's weird. You'd expect this thing. I mean, it makes me a little worried that, like, what if the Reaper things suck ass and they're just really strong in the beginning of the game? I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case. Who knows? Maybe it's a gear limitation. Maybe if you got, like, the legendary class mod that, like, stack bots, like, gun damage into, like, stacks for that, it, like, converts it into cat damage or something like that. What they really need is any way for, like, your cat to do damage and for you to, like, leech off that damage or something. So, like, even if it's like the more shots I stick on an enemy, more torque stickies I get on an enemy, the more it weakens them to, like, cat damage by, like, 1,000% or something, so that, like, something synergizes, you know. Anyways, it does look sick as hell. Your cat looks like it evolves visually, which is very cool. But that's a little bit too spoiler for me. Maybe she comes alive in the boss battle, guys. Maybe we're just not seeing that damage, really. It's spending so much time doing nothing, dude. Can we just... Okay. She summons it. It's literally...
11,234 said this has been a hard convo to listen to. I'll have you know I deal a lot of damage, sad face.
Why? Oh, Cat. Listen, Cat. I apologize. This is a panther. We'll say panther from now on. A weird panther type thing. Yeah. Anyways, but look at this. She summons it on top of him, and that's literally the skills that it impacts wherever you're looking.
Fetus said the more crits you do, the more crits Arcad gets. And the more crits Arcad gets, the more crits damage you do.
That's kind of neat.
That would be
Yeah, that'd be huge. I would like that, too. So long as your cat could crit, like, just like without having to hit a headshot or something like that. But I was gonna say, she puts him on him. I don't know. So it does the thing that every boss does: walk away. It takes 10 minutes or like 2 seconds getting there.
McFlufferkin said now Catman needs to play Vex and prove how potent trouble can be.
Do it. Fucking pop off. Although I wish you happiness. So
still thinking, should I buy just the base game of BL4 or just buy the Ultimate Edition?
I bought the Deluxe Edition. I met them in the middle. So that way I get all the shit from, like, first 5 months, 6 months. Actually, probably more than that. Probably first 6 months, 7 months. And then when it comes to getting the new Vault Hunter and the new DLC, like Mega DLC, I put that off. So I'm like, maybe I'm like, no. But I spent $120, which is shitty. It's awful. But it comes with the stuff that I think. I always liked the Borderlands thing. So I got a little bit of prisoner by the moment, I think. Prisoner of the moment type thing. But also, dude, it's just, it took such a long time to get there. It just scratched, and it did fucking nothing. That whole time, dude, the whole time.
McFlufferkin said I'd say go all in, lone, at least if you want all the stuff, otherwise deluxe would suffice.
Yeah, I think deluxe is a nice happy medium. But I was going to say, when he's reloading, like, damage should be happening. The health bar hasn't moved. What the F, man? Anyways, yeah, that's a lot of pain. Is it at least her weapon, God? Yeah, that's at least a good note. It does seem like the special armaments. I keep fucking forget. It's not annoyance. It's I gotta think. The big weapons, the big giant weapons. It does seem like they fucking rip shit apart, which is cool. Anyways, Vex's pet class seems a little weak, but you know, whatever. Honestly, the one that seems the fastest out of the clear time is Harlow. Harlow seems busted as hell the whole time. She got the lowest action time here. The longest is, I think, Vex, and then the second longest
Gnawing Fetus said Ordnance.
Amon, and then the last one is Rafa. But again, these are like skill tree specs, so one skill tree could be better than the other one. Ordnance, thank you. Yes. So yeah, so that was Vex. We showed Rafa kicking ass, taking names. Rafa looks honestly quite fun. Like just maybe it's just because it's autopilot-y that like you just summon these turrets, you're winning. They're killing shit. They're summoning like these crazy fucking disco orb things. Looks pretty metal. And then also, you just have grenades all the time. Awesome. You just got grenades that just fuck shit up. All that. Great. Also, his special anoint weapon. Awesome. Just a barrage of missiles. Love that. Anyways, just looks like you're sitting there shooting. You can focus on shooting. These turrets are going to do what they're going to do. You can summon like a giant fire orb if you want. Very neat. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. This is where I'm a little worried about it. But let's listen to this bit. This is Amon's.
He equips one of his 3 action skills. He gets a
McFlufferkin
second action
said
skill on a
Ordnance,
separate
and
timer.
Vex being a physical focus makes her an odd combo. Essentially, she's become the flack of this game, and yet doesn't have a lot of hunter skills.
Yeah, I feel like her other cloned ability is gonna be crazy though. I feel like the Reaper builds are gonna be way better. The one where she summons like the melee Reaper and then the gun Reaper, I think it's gonna be much better.
Based on which one of the skills he chose. This secondary action skill gets bonuses from action skill damage, but not action skill cooldown. His first action skill, Crucible, summons 2 elemental axes to his hand. 1 frost and 1 fire. While they're out,
I think
he
this
can
is the
swing them
claws.
at his enemies to damage them in melee.
Oh my fucking God, it's so bad all the time. Every time I drink it, it's like a fucking punch in my tongue. Anyways, I think this is actually going to be his best melee build because you'll see why.
And 1 fire. While they're out, he
yeah.
can swing them at his enemies
Fast.
to damage them in melee. However, you need to choose one of them to throw at your enemies. It then lodges in the target, priming them for detonation, which they will do when they die or when you use a forge skill that comes with it. Double Edge. It throws out axes like a boomerang.
Wait, I gotta listen to this again. Sorry, it's hard to understand.
One of them he can swing them at his enemies to damage them in melee. However, you need to choose one of them to throw at your enemies. It then lodges in the target, priming them for detonation, which they will do when they die or when you use a forge skill that comes with it. Double Edge. It throws out axes like a boomerang, detonating what you have
Got it.
primed.
So we throw
Like
tiny baby axe at them, hit them with the double axe, and that will detonate them. Priming and detonation, gotcha.
This has a separate cooldown to Crucible. His next action skill is Scourge,
This is awesome.
which has him whip
out of all the
out
ones
a
I like
shield
the visually the most, and I think is honestly the most OP, is probably this one.
and absorb all frontal damage. By pressing the action skill again or multiple times, you use a whip to deal
Honestly,
ranged
this action skill being equipped and then using like the Forge Axe skill tree might be the play in a weird way.
damage in front of you. You can even combo with.
I think you do need to
bonus
activate certain
damage
things.
based on how many charges you've accumulated while you're taking damage.
Also,
the Forge skill is a fire
look at
wall.
that.
It creates a wall of fire that you and your allies can fire through for bonus
That's
damage.
the only weakness, is it's on a 70
Firewall.
mother
It creates a wall of
effing
fire that
second
you and your
like
allies can
cooldown.
fire
Brutal, dog. And then this thing, I don't even know.
through for bonus damage.
McFlufferkin said to clarify my future stream titles and thumbnails, I was just having fun with alliteration and having them ordered by official showcases. I don't plan on playing all 4, but I could.
Yes, I was about to say, I misunderstood that a little bit, but yes, it was fun.
And it also deals damage to enemies that touch
Also,
it.
you shoot through and
Finally,
get
the
damage
skill
at 'em.
we'll be using is Onslaughter.
So he's using, in this gameplay footage, the quote-unquote melee Doomfist lunge ability. Now, I will say,
Lone Syndicate said 70-second cooldown. What blasphemy is this shit?
It's too much, I agree. But it's also like
immunity. The red tree is the most interesting tree to me.
Again, the gameplay we're about to see, it could just be him playing weird. But we'll get into it.
It puts you in a mode where you can regenerate shields faster and deal bonus incendiary damage. You also press it again to charge at your enemies and punch them. The Forge skill, Molten Slam, creates a giant hammer to slam into your enemies on a huge cooldown. I've put in an augment that makes gun damage mark targets, and if they die, are meleeed or hit with a Forge skill, they will detonate. Then I put in the capstone, which makes Molten Slam erupt with pyres of fire based on how much damage it did. The build is just a bunch of passives designed to make him slightly more tanky and deal more melee damage. So Eamon is an extremely skill-focused Vault Hunter, especially with the Crucible skill. You'll be mostly using that and using your guns very little. But with the others, you'll need to balance melee
McFlufferkin said
and range.
Harlow having all sorts of cooldown reductions and action skill longevity buffs will make her excellent for these slow downtime action skills.
Yeah. Also, just like there's gotta be some good class mods that help you, like especially him. Like his main weakness is that he has like his main fucking utility comes from his abilities. So like if he can't get to his abilities, he's screwed. So there's gotta be a class mod that's like, doing this gives you this, you know.
And are rewarded with many playstyles that other Vault Hunters simply don't have. All right, let's get into the gameplay.
Let's skip a little bit. So, yep, he shoots him. The gun is doing damage. It's happening. Oh, so let's turn the audio a little bit. I don't know if he's just playing weird, but like he's not throwing hands, and he does eventually. And you're like, oh god.
Gnawing Fetus said, "Good thing I plan on playing Buffbot Harlow."
So right there, you just see that he goes ahead and he punches. It does connect. That thing has a health bar. Punches. Boom. Health bar is gone. That's that much damage. This is a grunt. Anyways, he's just like, let me just shoot him in the head. Eviscerated instantly. Instantly dead. Dead again. So fast. That punch was kind of cool at least. But again, I'll skip ahead a little more when he starts punching him more. I don't know, man. But for me, I was like, okay, so this is where he might be being weird again. The good news is it comes back fast. So maybe that's the big value problem. I don't know. But he just went down there. Okay, again, this might just be like the Giga fumble play because he just went down there. He ends up shooting using the gun. The guns seem great. The guns seem immensely powerful. He's down, which is good. The classic Borderlands thing where you punch and do 10 damage and they punch you back and you get fucking mollywopped with
Lone
1 billion
Syndicate
damage.
said, well, we all just witnessed an action skill that will see no play endgame if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, so then, again, this is where he uses it. Look at that. Isn't that the best? I don't know why. It's just like the first 30 seconds of just whiff. just
Gnawing Fetus said like he can melee from a football field away.
Yeah, so maybe that. So like this makes me laugh, so much. Because he tries to melee with him, gets fucking down. How much health? Okay, he's pretty weak. You'd hope that he has some sort of health steal at that point. But anyways, he gets down. Again, the gun he's using is Giga great. It has low magazine. It must like eat a bunch of ammo because of that. Anyways, but this is what makes me laugh so much. He's like, he goes up here. Let me get this cool fucking hammer smash. Whoop, boom. Dude just jumps away. And it's fine. Oh, man, I'd be pissed. Also, it should reach that range, man. I don't know. Anyways, the gun he has is great. The gun he has is carrying him a little bit, I feel like. And again, this could not be the case. He could have just built him in a weird, like, melee tree that is also more incendiary based. But this isn't a corrosive weapon, I believe. This is an incendiary weapon, which is still doing pretty good. So, like, yeah, I think this is actually a legendary weapon, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like, see, the melee punches...
Gnawing Fetus said he's not playing right, and he's not spec'd or geared or something right. Badasses should be taking a third health bar per melee.
No, for sure. Like, but like, I hope he uses it. We'll see again. I want to see him punch an enemy. I thought I did eventually, and it just doesn't look like it actually. Like, it should look one shot, if not like quarter shot them. But maybe it does. I don't know. It should one shot a boss or an actual enemy. It's not like a 15-second cooldown. You're not able to use it all the time. Like you can just shoot them in the head 10 times and they die. So like, to me, it's not like it's an ad. An ad will die 2 seconds to a shot. Yeah, it's good at finishing them off. But like, can we skip to see when he uses? He got his action skill back. He's swapping out some weapons. He still has his action skill. Still has his action skill. Still has his action skill. Come on. There we go. All right, this is where he uses it. Pops his action skill. He does not run in there. It's a badass, so maybe that's a good idea. Punches the badass. Does nothing. The melee knives are amazing. In fact, wow, the badass fucking kicks him like a million feet back. Yeah, again, the gun dude.
Lone Syndicate said that enemy obviously didn't get the memo. You were supposed to stand there and die, if not from the attack, the sheer amounts of aura that came from it.
Exactly. Yeah, but like to me, like the same heat. That's a better way to describe it. The reason why it's like it's a bit not great to me is that he punches him, takes off like maybe that much health, and then he shoots him for 2 seconds at range, and fucking melts him. So, like, this is the thing that I was so terrified about the melee thing, is that, like, it's not scaled well. Like, the guns that have legendary, like, variations will always beat out the fucking melee weapon, or the melee fucking fist, because it's so much, what do you call it? But it doesn't make any sense, because it's so much harder to get to people if you're playing melee. You have to get, like, point blank, and fucking things mollywop you in the face. So, I don't know. This would made me a little bit like, oh no. But again, this is also something that can be solved through, like, gear. So, like, again, if you have a class mod, if you have like a roid shield, these are all things that can solve this problem. Maybe that's what they did. I always dislike that because it requires you to have fucking 5 things in alignment just to make something viable, which a person that just has a legendary gun drop, pow, you're cooking. Like,
Non-Fetus said, but the melee is hitting a lot harder for other PPL I've seen.
Okay, so maybe, yeah, this is the thing that I was worried about. It could just be that he spec'd in a weird way. And he's not playing hyper aggressively. He's also using a knife, which is like weird because Amon does like super good individual. Like this build is specialized into individual damage. So the fact that he's using like a single target damage knife is weird. But he did mention that he had like Dantis, the guy who I'm watching this video from. He did mention that he has like a limitation based on. He just used the level 30. Like, hey, I just beat the game with Vex. Let me play Amon, and they give you like blue weapons, I believe. So he doesn't have like best gear. So that's also a variable here. But it's still weird that, like, I don't know. It's always been a thing within Borderlands a little bit where, like, the melee build is only, like, all of the melee builds in every single game except for Krieg, and even Krieg still fucking domed himself in the head and knocked himself unconscious all the time, was only ever saved by one gun that scaled off of melee and was a shotgun that solved all of the bullshit because it was a ranged melee and it was a 14x shotgun, meaning it fires 14 pellets into somebody's head, all detonating with a unique melee effect. That's the only way melee was able to survive in any of these games. So you think eventually they'd realize, let's just crank it up to fucking 80, because Jesus Christ. Like, yeah. Or let's at least give like 18 weapons that fucking scale off melee. Something for some viability, but like, yeah. Honestly, the fastest kill I've seen on badasses, I think, is actually Harlow and Vex. So that's fun. Like, when it does do, like, that's the good. I do think, like, I think all this says is that like you are going to need a lot of shit in alignment to make melee work. Like, you're gonna need a class mod that buffs that. You're probably gonna need a perfect shield that buffs that. And every other class doesn't need that shit. They probably just need a legendary gun, and it will go. And honestly, Amon probably just needs that too, because the weapons are doing a lot of work opposed to his abilities. But again, he could have a different build. Yeah. So this is also why I am more interested in Amon's other build. That was actually pretty decent. Punch something. There we go. Okay, that killed it. That killed it instantly. Okay, so that's good at least. Okay, now do it. Okay, so it's still doing single target damage. So that's a little nice. Wait, that guy survived. Okay, so it's weird because it looks like it's doing AoE, but it's not. That was actually a compelling one, where, like, he did nuke some. I wonder why he's nuking some people. Like, that guy just died immediately one shot. Why is this guy not dying? He even takes out his shield. Oh, no, this guy does die. It's this guy. And maybe it's just that, like, that could be it, is that the skill inherently does fire damage, and he's facing shields, which is its weakest variant of it. So as soon as he strips his shields, but, like, he just punched that guy, and that guy should have died, but they didn't. Huh. It could be that, but yeah.
Said, figure a boosted character with a bunch of blues is going to be a bad showcase of his potential.
No, for sure.
Figure you'll have a lot better mileage with Amon, no matter the skill investment.
Sure, I guess to me, like, that's not the...
Fetus said, trust me, this guy isn't playing right first and foremost for a melee build. Secondly, he isn't geared spec right. Badasses are mostly a melee and 2 shoddy blast no scope snipes.
Sure, yeah, that's true. Like having a Jacob's
Lone Syndicate said, with an explosion that big for it to only do single target damage is a crime Mr. Torg would not approve.
Well said, Lone. Yeah, to me, guys, I got to make myself clear, like what I'm, if I could like calcify exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that, like, he can't be good or, like, he could not be played better. What I'm saying is, like, it's a value judgment based on, like, all the other variables that you could possibly choose. So, like, to me, maybe this is crazy, but to me, if you are going to play melee, you are like signing away 80% of the weapons that you can use that scale up your damage in various ways. So by that very virtue, it should be at a base really strong. So even if this guy's not build right, even if he doesn't have the right gear, to me, it should still, like, the melee should, in general, through every character, the melee should do more damage than most of the weapons you hold. At least because at least one shot should do more oomph than, like, the SMG that can just auto pull down and shoot. Because there's no reason to melee then. You just hold down the trigger point blank on a gun, etc. So I guess to me, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, it does look, at least like now, where melee is still in this weird thing. But the Gear's always been the game that saves stuff. But it's weird that, like, melee, which is already exceptionally restrictive, needs to be saved by, like, a specific type of gear. And gun damage, which is extremely easy for everyone to access, is geared perfectly good or over the melee thing. So that's a little odd to me. Like, in every Borderlands, shotguns that are, like, point-blank shotguns are always better than the other
which
stuff,
is why Rafa will likely have more potency, since he behaves more like Krieg's roaming action skill.
Yeah. And again, maybe that's a part of it. Yeah, what do you call it, Nong? If you ever find a video of Amon, of him crushing, I would like to see that. Again, I do not, it's not that I think
Gnawing
he won't
Fetus
do well.
said the main point of melees is to finish off weak enemies mid-reload. Unless you spec into it, then it should be godly.
Yeah, I think melee to me should be like a shotgun. Where, like, if I close the gap, you're dead. An enemy shouldn't have to be weak. A melee, to me at least, should be like, if I can close the gap, I should get the same level of damage as I get from a shotgun. In fact, more, because a shotgun usually has bang, 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 or bang, 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 instead of punch, punch, a limited fire rate, essentially, or swing rate. So that's what leaves me a little bit like, yikes. But again, I haven't seen other Amon gameplay yet. I just haven't seen those videos. If someone has seen some Amon gameplay where he's shredding shit at level 30, specifically, I would love to see it. Again, I do believe he does that. I just think, like, I just think gear shouldn't be the thing that's enabling you to be melee proficient. It should be the best at a base because it is so restrictive.
McFlufferkin said similar to Krieg as well, is that he sacrifices health for more output.
Yeah.
Without smacking himself in the face.
But like, to me, what was the thing? I thought there was a character that we played in one of the games. I think it was in Wonderlands, where, like, Wonderlands had some actually pretty decent.
Gnawing Fetus said it's on Rage Gaming videos. He is under more constraints as to what he can show at LVL 15, I think. But he does talk up about how he plays later.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, let's check that out. I know. Is it Rage? I'll check. I'll look at that right now. But yeah. Borderlands 4, Rage Gaming. Which one is it? Is it this one? Borderlands 4, 22 insane new details. After 20 hours of gameplay, looks like it. Let's just have this on in the background. Once again, if people don't want to see the Borderlands gameplay, 4 gameplay, just look away from the screen. Treat it like a podcast, as you probably already do. Let's see. Okay, so this is level 15. Level 15. Yeah, he's still yeah. I mean, it looks like he invested in, like, a damage over time, which at least that's something. He's still punching someone in it. And not nuking him, it kind of applies a dot, and then he still unloads them. At least he's playing more aggressive, which works. I'm still man, it just takes such a long build-up to like, only for it to go, and then, like, you want to go boom with a fist and see someone's fucking body bust, even, especially considering it's not, like, it takes a chunk of the power away every time he punches, I think. Oh, he does. It is cool that he's getting chunks of his actions go back, though. I wonder what he has in his skill tree for that to happen. I'm sure he tells you in the video. I'm just kind of speculating stuff. But that's good. It's still not like what Krieg was, which Krieg, like, looked at a man, cut him in half in one swing, and if it was bad, he would, like, 3-tap him, and then he'd dome himself in the head, down himself, you die, but at least you got to feel like a powerhouse for a minute.
Syndicate said that Punch looks more and more whack as hell.
I will say, man, it's funny because, like, he has, like, an explosive something going on where, like, every time he shoots, he gets a headshot or something. He gets, like, a massive critical spike, which is pretty huge. It could be a Torg weapon, but it doesn't look like that. It looks like he has, like, a critical headshot thing. Like, every time he gets a head, ooh, that looks awesome. Yes, again, it's hilarious. But, like, in the melee build, the gun thing is, like, that's awesome. He's getting a headshot and making shit like explosions happen every couple seconds.
Gnawing Fetus said his other vid where he showcased his build more, as opposed to general things in this one, was more punchy.
Wish it was.
I think this is a test build background he's showing.
Or is it this one? Probably this one. Let's try this one. All right. Sorry, I'm in a weird place. Okay, weird. Sniper. Odd. I'm not sure if this is the thing. Let's back up a little bit. All right, let's see. Was that just a lag spike? No, it's not. Okay. He's still not one-tapping people, but that's okay. It's just because they're ads. Like, if there was like a big-ass enemy, like a loader or something like that, then I would be like, okay, maybe you shouldn't one-tap that. But like an ad that like your gun looks like it like like that, like a one-shoots. Maybe it's weak enemy. Yeah, it looks like it's very much like priming a detonation, but still like 90% of your damage comes from your gun. Again, this is all something that's like melee builds are gonna be a thing. You're just gonna. It's the same thing in every Borderlands. You're just gonna need to find a gun that scales off melee or something. But it's just weird that we're still at that point where it feels like they haven't just said fuck it, give like them 500 damage on melee, because like it clearly it's. In every game, it's like the weakest point. It's weird because I've heard Randy Pitcher talk about this, about like in Wonderlands, how he was like, we don't want, even though we have like 500 melee weapons or some shit, we just don't want you to use them in like that much. And you're just like, why? Why do you have such a fucking hate boner for like melee? Oh my god, no! That was your big fucking mollywop ability. That's on a 79-second cooldown, man. And that's a goddamn light white armature, whatever the fuck that is. Come on! That was your big ult thing that does on a monster cooldown.
Gnawing Fetus said this isn't even the full extent of its range, though. It's used to close the gap in this build and do decent opening damage.
My big worry is the damage. Again, it's doing AoE, it's doing all that stuff, but my issue is that, like, you can just shoot a gun that's doing more than this. So, like, you get the ability to have range, a damage, and AoE probably, you know? Whereas your melee is specifically structured
Lone
as one
Syndicate
person.
said not impressed.
Yes, and again, I know he's like fighting for his life. He's like, hey, it's good, and I know it's good. I'm with you. But at least right now, I have not seen the thing that shows that it's not this like if you're gonna play melee, it seems heavily gear dependent is all I'll say. Which is we shouldn't still be here. This is how melee's always been in Borderlands. We should not be here, especially when like you're speccing into something that's so much more niche and so much more harder to pull off than just like a gun, you know. So it's fucked up because I think this does look fun, like especially not this specifically, but like there's moments where he's like running in and just like throwing hands, and that looks really cool. That's awesome. The grenades look so cool. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Maybe show something else. Oh no, that's the ability. Let's see. All right, let's see the range. It's picked up. This is the badass, so that makes sense that he's not dying immediately. Come on, lunge across the map. Show me that crazy range. Oh, they do have a little like jetpack thrust, which is nice too. Another badass. So based on what he's showing, like if I was Krieg, I'd run at him and I'd start slashing. But because he's not attacking, I think badasses probably do a lot of like melee damage, so they'll backhand you and like nuke you. And also, I think he's also trying to not. I don't think he does as much damage as his Torg explosive weapon, which maybe is valid. I don't think it's valid. I think like again, maybe unless he has no investment in melee damage, but like again, everyone could just use the Torg weapon that's godly. You know, only Amon can use his punch. Oh, yeah, fuck, dude. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I was about to say, grenades seem like they got plenty of bite. Did that do 6,000 damage? Come on, and pause. 3,100, and he's normally doing like I think 60 on his normal shot, 60 to 120. That's pretty good. And he's got 2 of those damn grenades. Yeah, Rafa's gonna be a fucking animal. I feel like because Rafa benefits from gun damage. He has an auto shooting skill tree, or auto firing like arm cannons, and he does it like anointment buffing or ornament damage buffing. Again, I'm playing Amon, by the way. I would just like you to know that I have not been swayed. Also, like the guy's dripped out look, he looks very cool. Oh, okay. He's also not that deep into his skill tree. So again, it's just, yeah, he's not that deep. So again, judgment is always like half here. As a person who's playing Amon, I am feeling more worried about going for the melee build. I mean, we'll dabble. We'll reset our build a bunch. There's not much cost, I think, to resetting anymore, if any. So that's something. But yeah. To kind of wind down... Yeah, see, man, I just think it should be doing more damage with the punchy punch. It's also... How long is it on cooldown for? 35 seconds is not a lot. It's on 40-second cooldown. 45, I would assume? No, 40. 42-second cooldown? Weird. That's a little bit of time, man. How much is Rafa's on? If we just go back a couple ticks. Come on, come on. I do know it has a lot of range. So there is that. I just want to see, where is Rafa? Rafa, use your ability, you cheeky minx. Dude, shut your whore mouth. Rafa's is on a 34-second cooldown. And it's automatic turrets. Man. It's automatic aimbot turrets that are shooting fucking giant... You're shooting giant, like, Nova Bomb blasts. That's so fucked up. And he's safe, like, a mile away. Actually, I don't know what the range of the turrets are. I should be nice. But that's diabolical, okay? Again, I'm Team Amon and Rafa. I'm Team both. I'm going to hedge my bets, okay? But I will be playing Amon my first playthrough. But I think I will be going with his Necromancer Blade stuff, which might not actually be any stronger. It actually is weird because I do think Amon has one of the best
Gnawing
ults in the game.
Fetus said Rafa's CD probably doesn't begin until after it ends.
Oh, is that right? What do you mean? What do you mean? Rafa's cooldown don't start out until it ends? But isn't that the same thing as Amon? Because Amon has like a hammer ult thing? I think his is also until it ends. I don't think it starts cooling down by the time he uses it. Yeah. I think both of them are roaming. Yeah. Unless I misunderstand what you mean, but yeah. The only thing I did want to see, which I actually haven't like absorbed fully, but I do notice that Harlow is by far, is the one that just seems to devour the world, which is pretty cool. I mean, I want to see her ult that he used. Actually, let's listen. I want to see what the build he ended up choosing.
To the ball as it travels, and the capstone that sends an accelerator, which fires out what is essentially a nuclear disco ball.
Grenades?
I have an augment on it that sucks in enemies to the ball as it travels, and the capstone that sends out radiation darts. The whole build revolves around radiation damage. I have radiation heavy weapons equipped, but no radiation guns, so keep that in mind. Harlow is extremely fun to use, and her playstyle revolves around her action skills and elemental damage, being the only Vault Hunter that can truly support her team as well. Alright, I'll let the gameplay play out.
Alright, let's look at it happen. Wow. How much of a cooldown is that on? 40 seconds. That's honestly probably more, well, I don't know how to say that, but that's pretty good uptime. I was gonna say, because again, like Nong is also saying, where like some alts have like a persistent, so like they only start cooling down when they're gone. It kind of would be cool if there were some alts that started as soon as you shoot them. But it doesn't look like the alt has to disappear in its utility before it starts recovering, which is kind of shitty. Sometimes it's nice to have like that like secretly good alt because you don't realize that it's on cooldown as soon as you shoot it. So that's why it's maybe good. Honestly, I can see Rafa's like Giga Blast beam being good in that sense, that you can quickly nuke all of the bullets out, or like smash all the bullets out, and then just be like ready to be proficient, you know?
Gnawing Fetus said I plan on rocking the imp grenades, blue tree I think, build. For this tree she gets CD reduction conditionals.
Oh, cooldown? Yeah, I thought she was like able to back her cooldown and stuff like that. There's one of the builds, maybe I think it was her Phase Grass build, which like it has something where like if you keep doing this element, it keeps giving you like chunks. Or it lets you
Lone
instantly
Syndicate
reset
said the gun is taking up a fuck ton of screen real estate.
That's Borderlands, baby. If you don't have visual pollution on your screen, if you can see 3 feet in front of you in combat, you're losing. Okay, you're not doing enough. Also, what? Oh, I thought it was badass. Okay. That's just her main weapon. Damn. Also, does this weapon show your actual health and armor? Dude, that's hilarious, by the way. He hasn't, like this whole time, he hasn't taken a single bit of damage. Nothing. Nothing. There it is. And it's back. What is happening? Why is it back immediately or shoulder immediately recharged? Also, she's just rolling around. Harlow gonna be built different, I feel like. That's a lot of damage too, man. She said this is also... Actually, no, he does. I think this is actually his character, because he has 2 purples, so it probably is his character he played through with. Okay, this is a badass against an alt. It's okay. It was okay. Well, no, it's great. It's exceptional. Never mind. Holy shit, that guy got Kimpa. That was the fastest clear time we've seen on a badass yet. And immediately on cooldown coming back. What? That wasn't even... Yeah, I don't think that was her using her, like, anointment. I keep saying anointment. Fucking Christ. Ordnate damage. Ordnate weapon. Yeah, Harlow looks brutal. Again, it is an ongoing meme within this community of Borderlands people that if Randy ever says he has a favorite character, expect them to be wild. Okay, and this is Randy's favorite character, so... A pain. Not pain. Again, it's high time to support people get their fucking bag, okay? So I'm fine with this. But yes. Also, yeah, it's hilarious. It's so fucking funny. Again, she shoots one thing twice, it starts teleporting away, and the dot just eats them alive. That's one shot, and then just, like, curls over dead. Great. Alright, this is an armored enemy. Oh, man. She seems giga fucked up. Alright, let's see. She already's, like, again. She did go down, though. I wonder if she died to her own dot. What killed you, Harlow? Well, yeah, there's a person to her left that she's just not observing at all. I think also she got meleeed, which hurt her a little bit. Alright, so she seems like she's the best ad control person, but maybe she falls apart in bosses, guys. That's gotta be it. It's gotta be the bosses, where she just becomes a total loser. Break that immunity phase, bang, drop a nuke into his chest. Actually, that's great. Not the craziest amount of thing. But I think she gains benefit when there's a character that, oh my god. Now this is the build that's supposed to be like damage heavy, so we should be nice. It's not like her ultimate support build, I don't think.
Snoring Fetus said she does a fuck ton of radiation and cryo based on radiation on this tree.
Yes.
And that was probably a radiation
Yeah,
rocket.
I think but I noticed like she does, like her thing does okay damage, but like he doesn't have an irradiation weapon, I don't think. Only his special anoint weapon is that. But so I think like I think she gets a buff when someone's irradiated and she shoots them. She gets that like massive effect. Where I think it's like maybe a giant nova or something. But that's what seems to be crazy. Also, I haven't noticed like her like she's weak. You know, like I don't know what it is, but she seems tanky or like just not able to recover her shield fast. I don't know what it is, but she doesn't seem like she like the other characters had like they were sometimes low. I've seen them using rev kits a lot. I haven't seen her use a rev kit like at all. I don't love this. I don't like the fact that we have to wait for like 20 minutes just to fucking, be able to fight an enemy. Like, give me the stupid shard that lets me smash you in the chest. Like right here, we're doing nothing. And we can't do anything until we get a thing, I think, to break. There we go. That's hell. That doesn't bode well for the immunity phase. Anyways, here we go again. And also, by the time the cycle ends, your ordnate weapon's back, and you can just eat this motherfucker alive. Horrible sentence to say aloud, but alas. Yeah. So, yes. We at least know that Harlow's radiation skill tree, fucked. Just seems good for ad control. Seems good all across the board for bossing. Kind of figured it would be good for bossing, but I wasn't expecting it to be so good for ad control. Once again, this could have been Datus's or whatever his name is. Sorry, main class, like main class that he built his character on. So maybe he just has more experience with her, knows how to keep the buffs up more. Has better loot. Because I do think we can see here, Vex he's got 2 legendaries for Vex. And for Rafa, he's got 3. And for Amon, he has got 4. Oh, no, 3. That's 3. Sorry, I can't read. But 3. I thought he would have like 1. Well, Harlow's the demon, all that. Yeah, I'm still going for Amon. I might be a little cautious for the melee tree. I probably will play it early on. I think it's going to be really strong early on and then like really bad in the middle and then really bad at the end until you get good gear, and then it's going to be great at endgame. But I think I'm going to be going with the summoning shit thing. Like a necromancer, but for weapons that are conscious, I guess. A weird vibe, but yes. Oh, my body. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe Fluff is in fact streaming, but we are going to be winding down. Tomorrow we'll be having a fun Withering Wave stream, which actually works out because we were gonna like eventually go play it today, but we're gonna play it all day tomorrow, so we should just chill. We also might do a little bit of react tomorrow, all that kind of stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited. I think if you're gonna play Rafa, you're gonna be eating good. I think if you're gonna be playing Amon, I think you're gonna be eating good as well. I think it's just kind of
Snoring Fetus said Tediori Gunbot Army 8.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, also, oh my God, no, you're so right. You know why? You know fucking why, no? This is why. No, where is it? Is it this? It's this. I think it's this. No, it's this. God damn it. Yes, this. So not only do we get cool drone things, but we get this bad boy, bolt action. Whenever Amon reloads his gun, he gains bonus shock damage for that duration. So I summon the shit, and then boom, now all my TDRs are probably, or hopefully, they're electric. I don't know how that works, actually, because it just gives, maybe like you throw one first, then it triggers, because it's for 4 seconds. So for 4 seconds, it's going to be doing amplified electric damage. And then the TDRs are going to be benefiting from not only the base damage, so you can get a TDR that probably does fire damage. So now the TDR is doing fire damage and electro damage. So now Amon is set for shield shred. I can put corrosive, so we get the armor shred. And he's got cryo, which cryo is going to be best if you're going to go, oh, wait, no, well, I thought that, oh, I guess not. Well, never mind. Oh, it's both. It's cryo and shock. Okay.
Raidnade said, great stream, Grin. See you tomorrow, my friend.
Enjoy your day, my friends. I hope I can see you once again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yes, Fluff is streaming. What? He told us, and I blacked out. I have no idea. Let's see. Fluff is streaming. We're going to raid Fluff. Ooh, Fluff is playing Cyberpunk still, man. That's a game that you can play probably forever. Let's go over here and do this. Also, to my people who got seed, enjoy. I envy you only a lot. Honestly, it's a new character to play with, always fun. I probably don't deserve her because I still haven't caught up on the story, so I'm a fake fan of Z's, all that stuff. But I still like to be a part of it because the character designs are cool and I like talking about it. I just get to the point where I'm a bit fatigued on playing it sometimes, but not really. Okay, yeah, a little bit. That's true. That's true. But the redirect is ready to rip. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I can see you once again tomorrow. Am I missing anything? Boppity boopity. Great day. Everyone being sweet. TDO Army. Hell yes. Gunbot and Bladebot. Can't wait. Nong might be out here on his second playthrough doing the melee build and kicking ass, taking names. But alas, love you guys a bit. Hope I can see you again. Goodbye for now. Oh, also thank you so much for helping me brainstorm. Appreciate the brainstorm sesh.